Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Anna, and I am very happy to be here with you today. This podcast is for beginners, so we will speak slowly and use simple English. Today, our topic is morning habits. Morning habits are the things we do after we wake up. These small actions can change how we feel during the day. For example, some people drink water, some people exercise, and some people check their phone. I think morning habits are very important because they help us start the day well. I am here with my friend Mark, and we will talk about this together.
Hi, Anna. Hi, everyone. My name is Mark, and I am excited to talk with you today. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Like Anna said, today we will talk about morning habits. Everyone has a different morning routine. Some people wake up early and some wake up late. Some people like a quiet morning and some like music. I think morning habits can affect our mood and energy. A good start can make the whole day better. We will share our habits and ideas in a simple way so you can understand and learn easily.
Thank you, Mark. I agree with you. Morning habits are small, but they are very powerful. In this podcast, we will talk about simple things you can do in the morning. We will use easy words so you can learn English and understand the topic at the same time. Do not worry if you do not understand everything. You can listen again and practice. I hope you feel relaxed and enjoy this conversation. You can also think about your own morning habits while you listen.
Yes, Anna, that is a great idea. Learning English with daily topics is very helpful. Morning habits are part of everyone's life, so it is easy to follow. We will talk like friends so you can feel comfortable. If you want, you can repeat after us. This is a good way to practice speaking. I think it is also a good time to think about how we start our day and how we can make it better.
That's right, Mark. I like that we can learn English and also improve our daily life. Morning habits can be simple, like brushing your teeth, washing your face, or eating breakfast. But these small things can make a big difference. In this podcast, we will share our own routines and ask each other questions. This will help you hear natural English and learn how to talk about your habits.
I think that will be very useful, Anna. Talking about habits is important in daily conversation. You can use simple sentences like, I wake up at 7, or I drink coffee in the morning. These are easy but useful expressions. We will keep everything clear and simple so you can follow us. Do not worry about mistakes. Learning takes time, and that is okay.
Yes, learning step by step is very important. I also think mornings are special because they are the start of a new day. A good morning can make us feel happy and ready. In this podcast, we will talk about what we do, what we like, and what helps us feel good in the morning. I hope you will find some ideas that you can try in your own life.
That is a nice idea, Anna. I also think mornings can be calm and peaceful. It's a good time to think and prepare for the day. Some people like to plan their day in the morning. Others just take it easy. There's no right or wrong way. We will share different ideas so you can choose what you like.
I like that, Mark. Everyone is different, and that's okay. In this podcast, we will not say what is right or wrong. We will just share simple ideas. You can try them and see what works for you. Also, we will speak slowly so you can understand better. You can pause and repeat if you want.
Yes, that is very helpful for beginners. Repeating is a great way to improve your English. You can also try to answer our questions in your mind. This can help you practice thinking in English. Morning habits are easy to talk about, so it's a good topic for learning.
Thank you, Mark. Before we start, I want to remind our listeners to relax. This is not a test. Just listen and enjoy. You will improve little by little. Morning habits are simple, so you can follow our conversation easily. I hope you feel like you are talking with us.
That's a great message, Anna. We are happy to have you here with us. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Now we are ready for part 1, where we will talk about our own morning habits and simple routines.
In part 1, I want to talk about my morning habits. I usually wake up at 7 in the morning. When I wake up, I do not check my phone first. I try to sit quietly for a minute and take a deep breath. Then I go to the bathroom and wash my face and brush my teeth. After that, I drink a glass of water because it helps my body wake up. Sometimes I do light stretching for 5 minutes. It is very simple, but it makes me feel fresh. Then I prepare a small breakfast like bread and fruit, and I eat slowly.
That sounds like a very nice routine, Anna. My morning habits are a little different. I usually wake up at 7:30, so a bit later than you. The first thing I do is turn off my alarm, and sometimes I check my phone, but I try not to spend too much time on it. Then I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and wash my face. After that, I like to drink a cup of coffee because it gives me energy. I do not always stretch, but I sometimes open the window to get fresh air.
I like that you open the window, Mark. Fresh air is very nice in the morning. I also think it helps us feel more awake. After breakfast, I like to plan my day. I write a short list of things I need to do. It is not long, just simple tasks. This helps me feel organized and calm. If I know what I need to do, I do not feel stressed. Sometimes I also listen to soft music while I get ready. It makes my morning feel more peaceful and enjoyable.
That is a great idea, Anna. I do not always plan my day, but I think I should try it. My morning is sometimes a bit busy, so I just get ready quickly. After my coffee, I get dressed and prepare to go out. I usually eat something small, like a banana or a sandwich. I do not have a big breakfast because I don't feel very hungry in the morning. But I know breakfast is important, so I try to eat at least a little before I start my day.
Yes, even a small breakfast is good, Mark. It gives your body some energy. I also think it is important to take time in the morning. If we hurry too much, we can feel stressed. I try to wake up a little earlier so I have time to relax. Even 10 extra minutes can make a big difference. In that time, I can sit quietly or enjoy my tea. It helps me start the day in a calm way.
I understand that, Anna. I think I need to wake up a bit earlier too. Sometimes I feel rushed, and it is not a good feeling. When I have more time, I feel better and more relaxed. I also like to listen to music in the morning when I have time. It makes me feel happy and ready for the day. Music can change my mood in a positive way.
Yes, music is very powerful. It can change how we feel. I also like to keep my mornings simple. I do not try to do too many things. Just a few good habits are enough. For example, drinking water, eating breakfast, and planning my day. These small things help me feel ready. I think it is better to have a simple routine that we can follow every day.
I agree, Anna. Simple routines are easier to keep. If a routine is too long, we may stop doing it. I try to keep my morning easy and quick, but I also want to add some good habits like stretching or planning my day. I think small changes can make a big difference over time.
Yes, small changes are very important. We do not need to change everything at once. Just one new habit can help. For example, drinking water in the morning is very easy, but it is good for our body. Over time, these small habits become part of our life. Then we do them without thinking.
That is true, Anna. Habits become natural when we repeat them. I'd also think it is important to enjoy our morning. If we like our routine, we will continue it. If we do not enjoy it, it will be hard to keep. So it is good to choose habits that we like.
I completely agree, Mark. Enjoying the routine is very important. In part 1, we talked about our own morning habits. We shared simple things like waking up, drinking water, eating breakfast, and listening to music. These are easy ideas that anyone can try.
Yes, Anna, we shared simple and useful habits. Everyone can choose what works best for them. There is no perfect routine. The best routine is the one you can follow every day. Now we are ready to move to part 2, where we will talk about why morning habits are important.
In part 2, let's talk about why morning habits are important. I think a good morning routine helps us start the day in a positive way. When I follow my routine, I feel calm and ready. If I wake up late and hurry, I feel stressed. Morning habits can change our mood. For example, drinking water, stretching, or eating breakfast can give us energy. It is like a signal to our body that the day is starting. When we have a routine, we do not need to think too much. Everything feels easier and more natural.
Yes, Anna, I agree with you. Morning habits are like a guide for the day. When I follow a simple routine, I feel more organized. If I skip my routine, I feel confused and slow. I think a good morning helps us think clearly. For example, when I drink coffee and sit quietly for a few minutes, I feel more focused. Also, morning habits can save time. When we know what to do, we do not waste time thinking or deciding. It makes the morning smooth and simple.
That's a very good point, Mark. Saving time is very important, especially in the morning. I also think morning habits can reduce stress. When we do things slowly and in order, we feel more relaxed. But when we rush, we can feel nervous and tired. A calm morning can help us stay calm during the day. For example, when I plan my day in the morning, I feel less worried. I know what I need to do, so I feel more in control.
I agree, Anna. Planning is very helpful. When I know my tasks, I feel more confident. I also think morning habits can improve our health. For example, drinking water, eating breakfast, and doing light exercise are good for our body. These small actions can help us feel stronger and more active. If we skip these habits, we may feel tired or weak. So a good morning routine is not only about time, but also about health.
Yes, health is very important. I also think morning habits can affect our mind. When we start the day in a calm and positive way, we can think better. For example, if we listen to soft music or take deep breaths, we can feel peaceful. This can help us deal with problems during the day. A good morning can give us a good start, and that can change the whole day.
That is very true, Anna. I also notice that when I have a good morning, I feel more motivated. I want to do my work and complete my tasks. But when my morning is not good, I feel lazy and slow. So I think morning habits can change our energy and motivation. Even small things like making the bed or opening the window can make a difference.
Yes, small things can really help. I also think consistency is important. When we do the same habits every day, our body gets used to them. Then it becomes easier to wake up and start the day. We do not need to think too much. It becomes automatic. This makes our life easier and more comfortable.
I agree, Anna. Doing the same routine every day can build strong habits. It may feel difficult at first, but after some time it becomes natural. I also think morning habits can help us feel more confident. When we complete small tasks in the morning, we feel good. It gives us a positive feeling to start the day.
That's a great point, Mark. Completing small tasks can give us a sense of success. It may be something simple, like drinking water or eating breakfast, but it still feels good. I also think morning habits can give us time for ourselves. Before the day becomes busy, we can have a quiet moment. This is very important for our mind.
Yes, having time for ourselves is very important. In the morning, everything is usually quiet, so it is a good time to relax and think. I think many people forget this and start their day too quickly, but taking even a few minutes can make a big difference. It can help us feel more balanced.
I agree, Mark. In part 2, we talked about why morning habits are important. They help us feel calm, save time, reduce stress, and improve our health. They also help our mind and give us a good start to the day. I think these are very good reasons to build a simple morning routine.
Yes, Anna, we shared many reasons why morning habits are useful. They're simple, but they can change our day in a positive way. I hope our listeners can understand their importance. Now, we are ready to move to part 3, where we will share some easy tips for building good morning habits.
In part 3, let's share some simple tips for building good morning habits. My first tip is to start small. You do not need many habits at once. Just choose 1 or 2 easy things, like drinking water or making your bed. My second tip is to wake up at the same time every day. This helps your body get used to a routine. My third tip is to prepare the night before. For example, you can choose your clothes or plan your breakfast. This makes your morning easier and faster.
Those are great tips, Anna. I want to add some more. First, try not to use your phone right after you wake up. It can make your mind busy too early. Instead, take a few minutes to wake up slowly. Second, you can add a short activity like stretching or walking. It helps your body feel active. Third, try to keep your routine simple and enjoyable. If you like your routine, you will follow it more easily. These small tips can help you build a good morning step by step.
I like your tips, Mark. They are very easy to follow. I also think it is important to be consistent. Try to do your habits every day, even on weekends. This helps your routine become natural. Another tip is to give yourself enough time in the morning. Do not rush. If you wake up a little earlier, you can feel more relaxed. Also, try to create a calm environment. A clean room and soft light can make your morning more peaceful.
Yes, being consistent is very important. I also think it is good to set a simple goal for the morning. For example, you can say, "Today I will drink water and stretch." This makes your routine clear. Another tip is to enjoy your breakfast. Do not eat too fast. Take your time and enjoy your food. It can make your morning more pleasant and give you energy for the day.
That is a nice idea, Mark. Enjoying breakfast is very important. I also think it is good to listen to your body. If you feel very tired, you may need more rest. Do not push yourself too hard. A good routine should help you, not make you feel stressed. Also, you can try different habits and see what works best for you. Everyone is different, so your routine can be unique.
I agree, Anna. Everyone is different, and that's okay. I also think it is good to stay positive. If you miss your routine one day, do not feel bad. Just try again the next day. Building habits takes time. Another tip is to keep your routine short. 10 to 20 minutes is enough for many people. This makes it easier to follow every day.
Yes, keeping it short is a very good idea. I also think it is helpful to make your routine enjoyable. For example, you can listen to your favorite music or drink your favorite tea. These small things can make your morning special. When you enjoy your routine, you will want to continue it.
That's true, Anna. Enjoyment is very important. I also think it is good to track your habits. You can use a notebook or a simple list. When you see your progress, you feel happy and motivated. This can help you continue your routine.
I like that idea, Mark. Tracking can help us stay motivated. I also think it is important to be patient. Habits do not change in one day. It takes time. But if you keep trying, you will see results. Step by step, your morning will become better.
Yes, Anna, patience is key. Small steps can lead to big changes. In Part 3, we shared many simple tips like starting small, being consistent, and keeping the routine enjoyable. These tips are easy and practical for daily life.
Thank you, Mark. I think these tips can really help beginners. They are simple and easy to try. In Part 3, we focused on how to build good morning habits step by step. I hope our listeners feel ready to try their own routine.
I agree, Anna. We shared many useful ideas. Now we are ready to move to the ending where we will share our final thoughts and say goodbye.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our podcast today. We talked about morning habits and shared many simple ideas. I hope you learned some new words and useful tips for your daily life. Remember, you do not need a perfect routine. Just start with 1 or 2 small habits, like drinking water or waking up at the same time. Over time, these habits can make your morning better. You can listen again and repeat our sentences to practice English. Thank you for spending your time with us. I hope you feel ready to try a new morning routine tomorrow.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you to all our listeners. It was great to talk about morning habits together. A good morning can change your whole day. I hope you can try some of the simple tips we shared. Do not worry if it is not perfect. Just keep trying and find what works for you. Learning English and building habits both take time, so be patient. Practice every day, even a little. Thank you again for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this episode.
Before we say goodbye, I want to remind you to practice your English every day. You can listen to this podcast again and repeat after us. You can also talk about your own morning habits in simple English. For example, you can say, I wake up at 7, or I drink coffee in the morning. This is a good way to improve your speaking. We are very happy to be part of your learning journey. Thank you again for listening to us. Take care.
That is a great idea, Anna. Practice is very important. Even a few minutes every day can help you improve. Try to listen, repeat, and speak out loud. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Also, try to enjoy the process. Learning English can be fun and useful. We are very happy to share this time with you. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, Mark, I feel very happy too. This was a simple and friendly conversation. I hope our listeners felt comfortable and enjoyed it. Morning habits are easy to talk about, and they are useful in daily life. I hope you found some ideas that you can use. Thank you again for being with us today.
I agree, Anna. It was a warm and easy talk. I hope our listeners learned something new. We shared simple ideas that anyone can try. Keep practicing and do not give up. You are doing a great job by listening and learning. Thank you for your time and attention.
As we finish our podcast, I want to say one more thing. Please be patient with yourself. Building new habits and learning English both take time. Step by step, you will improve. Keep going and stay positive. Thank you for listening, and I wish you a happy and productive day.
Thank you, Anna. That is a very kind message. I also want to wish everyone good luck. Keep learning, keep practicing, and enjoy your journey. We believe in you. Thank you for listening to our podcast today.
Now it is time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new. Please come back for our next podcast. We will talk about more easy topics to help you learn English. Have a great day and see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone, and thank you again. We hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself and keep practicing your English. We look forward to talking with you again soon. Goodbye, and see you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Anna. I am so happy you are here today. Today, we have a very special topic. We are going to talk about family. Family is very important to all of us. In this podcast, I am with my friend Mark. We will talk about our families, our parents, brothers, sisters, and more. I think this is a great topic for people who are learning English. It is simple, but it is also very personal and nice. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Now, let me say hello to Mark. Hi, Mark. How are you today?
Hi, Anna. I am great, thank you. And hello to all our listeners. I am Mark, and I am very happy to be here today. I love talking about family. For me, family is everything. It is the most important thing in life. I think this topic is perfect for beginners because we all have a family, and we all know words like mother, father, sister, and brother. So this podcast will help you learn those words in English and use them in real conversations. I am excited to share my family stories with you today. Let's start, Anna. Tell us a little about your family first.
Sure. My family is not very big. There are 4 people in my family. I have my mother, my father, my younger brother, and me. We all live together in one house. My mother's name is Maria. She is very kind and warm. My father's name is David. He is strong and funny. My brother's name is Tom. He is 12 years old. I am 25, so I am older than Tom. We are a close family. We eat dinner together every evening. We also watch TV together on weekends. I love my family very much. They are always there for me. What about you, Mark? How many people are in your family?
My family is a little bigger than yours. I have my mother, my father, 2 sisters, and 1 brother, so there are 6 people in my family. My mother's name is Helen. She is a teacher. My father's name is Robert. He works in an office. My older sister is Lisa. She is 30 years old. My younger sister is Becky. She is 20. My brother's name is Sam. He's 22. I am the second oldest. We all grew up in the same town. Now some of us live in different places, but we still talk every week. Family is family, right? It doesn't matter where you live. That's what I believe.
Do you live close to your parents, Anna?
Yes, I do. I still live with my parents. I know some people think that is unusual, but I really like it. My home is warm and comfortable. My mother cooks very well, and I love her food. In the mornings, we have breakfast together before work and school. My father drives Tom to school every day. It is a nice routine. I also help my mother in the house. I clean my room, and sometimes I cook, too. Living with family can be wonderful. Of course, sometimes we disagree, but we always talk and fix things. I think good communication is very important in a family. Do you live with your family, Mark, or do you live alone?
I live alone now. I moved out of my parents' house 3 years ago. I have my own apartment. At first, it was difficult. I missed my family a lot. I missed my mother's cooking the most. Her pasta is amazing. Now I cook for myself, but it is not the same. I visit my parents every Sunday. We have lunch together and we talk for a long time. It's my favorite day of the week. I also call my brother Sam almost every day. We are very close. Having your own place is good for independence, but family time is still very special to me. I think you're lucky to still live with your family, Anna. Do you think you will move out soon?
Maybe in a few years. Right now, I'm saving money. Apartments are expensive in my city, and honestly, I really enjoy living with my parents. But yes, one day I will move out and start my own life. I think it is important to become independent. My parents always say, "Anna, you can stay as long as you want." They're so sweet. I think my mother will be a little sad when I leave. We are very close. She is not just my mother, she's also my best friend. I can tell her everything. I hope one day I will have my own family too, a husband and maybe 2 children. Do you want children someday, Mark?
Yes, definitely. I love children. I think having a family is a beautiful thing. I want 2 or 3 children someday. Right now, I am not married, but I hope to get married in the future. I think being a good father is one of the most important things a man can do. My own father is a great example for me. He was always there when I needed him. He helped me with school, with problems, with everything. I want to be like him. I also want my future children to know my parents, their grandparents. Grandparents are very special. They have so much love and wisdom. Do you have grandparents, Anna? Are they still alive?
Yes, I do. I have 2 grandparents on my mother's side. My grandmother's name is Rose, and my grandfather's name is George. They are both in their 70s, and they are still very active. They live in a small village about 2 hours from our city. We visit them in the summer. I love going there. Their house is old but very cozy. My grandmother always bakes bread and cakes. The smell is wonderful. My grandfather tells amazing stories about the past. I can listen to him for hours. Unfortunately, my father's parents passed away before I was born, so I never met them. That makes me a little sad. But I feel very lucky to have Rose and George. Do you have grandparents too?
Yes, I have one grandmother. Her name is Betty. She's 81 years old, and she's still very sharp and funny. She lives in a care home now, but she is happy there. I visit her every month. She always remembers everything and asks me many questions. Are you eating well? Do you have a girlfriend? She makes me laugh every time. My grandfather on my mother's side passed away 5 years ago. His name was Jim. I miss him very much. He was a great man, very wise and gentle. My father's parents both passed away when I was young. I have some photos of them, but no real memories. It is a little sad. But Betty is wonderful, and I treasure every visit with her.
Betty sounds wonderful. I love that she is still funny and curious at 81. Old people have so many interesting stories and experiences. Let's talk about siblings now. You said you have 2 sisters and a brother. Are you close to all of them? I only have one sibling, my brother Tom. He is still young, only 12, so sometimes we don't have much to talk about. He likes video games and cartoons. I prefer books and music, but I love him very much. I help him with his homework sometimes. He calls me the homework helper. It's funny. When he was a baby, I used to carry him around the house. Now he is almost as tall as me, growing up so fast. Do you get along with your siblings well?
Yes, mostly. I am very close to Sam, my brother. We talk almost every day. We like the same sports and the same music. It is very easy to be friends with him. With my sisters, it is a little different. Lisa, my older sister, is very serious. She works a lot and is always busy. We love each other, but we don't talk as often as I would like. Becky, my younger sister, is very cheerful and funny. She always makes the family laugh. When we are all together, it is a lot of fun. Of course, when we were children, we fought sometimes, over toys, over the TV, over small things. But now that we are adults, we appreciate each other much more. That is normal, I think. Did you fight with Tom when you were young?
Not really, because Tom is much younger than me. When he was born, I was 13, so I was more like a second mother to him than a sister who fights. I helped my mom take care of him. I fed him, I read him stories, I played with him. It was sweet. He looked up to me a lot. Even now, he still comes to me when he has a problem and doesn't want to tell mom or dad. I like that. It means he trusts me. I think the age difference is actually nice. We don't compete, we just support each other. Let's talk about parents now. Tell me more about your mom. You said she is a teacher. What does she teach?
My mom teaches English at a primary school. She's been a teacher for over 25 years. She loves her job. She always says that children give her energy. She is very patient and kind, and I think those qualities make her a great teacher. At home, she was the same way. Patient with us, always ready to explain things. My mom is also a great cook. On Sundays, she makes a big traditional meal for the whole family. It is our favorite time of the week. She works very hard, but she never complains. I really admire her for that. What does your mother do, Anna? Does she work or does she stay at home?
My mother works part-time as a nurse at a local clinic. She works 3 days a week. It is not a full-time job, so she also has time for the family. She is very caring and calm. I think her job made her that way, or maybe she chose her job because she was always that way. She is always the person in the family who makes everyone feel better when they are sad or sick. When I was a child and had a fever, she stayed next to me all night. She never slept until I was better. That memory is very special to me. She is my hero. I think mothers are truly amazing people. Your mother sounds great too, Mark. We are both very lucky.
We really are. Now let's talk about fathers. My dad, Robert, works in an office. He's an accountant. His job is about numbers and money. At home, he is very different from work, very relaxed and funny. He loves football and watches every match on TV. He also likes gardening. On weekends, he spends a lot of time in the garden. He grows tomatoes, peppers, and herbs. It is his hobby, and he is very proud of it. Every summer, we eat vegetables from his garden. They taste so much better than vegetables from a shop. My dad is also very wise. When I have a big decision to make, I always call him first. His advice is always good. What is your dad like, Anna?
My dad is a mechanic. He fixes cars. He has his own small garage near our home. He loves his work. He is always talking about engines and cars. I don't understand much about cars, but I love listening to him because he is so passionate about it. My dad is also very strong and protective. He is quiet sometimes, but when he talks, everyone listens. He is not the type of person who shows emotions easily, but I know he loves us deeply. He shows it through actions, not words. He fixes things around the house. He makes sure we are safe. He works hard for our family. One of my happiest memories is going to his garage as a child and helping him with small things. Do you have a special memory with your dad, too?
Yes, my best memory with my dad is going fishing together. Every summer, just the two of us would go to a lake near our town. We would wake up very early in the morning at 5 o'clock and drive to the lake. We never caught many fish, but that was not really the point. We just talked, laughed, and enjoyed the quiet morning together. I still remember the smell of the lake and the sound of the birds. My dad would make coffee in a small thermos, and we would drink it by the water. Those mornings were so peaceful. I have not gone fishing in a long time, but now I really want to go again. Maybe I will invite my dad this summer. That memory warms my heart. What is your happiest family memory, Anna?
Oh, what a beautiful story, Mark. The fishing memory is so sweet. My happiest family memory is our summer holiday when I was about 10 years old. My parents saved money for a whole year, and we went to the beach for 1 week. It was my first time at the sea. I remember seeing the ocean for the first time and thinking it was the biggest thing in the world. My dad carried me on his shoulders in the water. My mom made sandwiches on the beach. We all played in the sand. Tom was not born yet, so it was just the three of us. It was simple but perfect. I remember laughing a lot. To this day, the smell of the sea makes me feel happy and safe. I want to go back to that beach one day.
That is a beautiful memory. Simple moments really are the most special, aren't they? Let's talk about family traditions now. Every family has its own traditions, things they do every year or every week. Does your family have any special traditions, Anna? For us, it is Sunday lunch, of course. My mom always cooks a big meal, roast chicken, potatoes, salad, and we all eat together. No phones at the table, that is a rule. We just talk and enjoy the food and each other's company. Another tradition is that every Christmas, my whole family goes to my parents' house, all 6 of us, plus Grandma Betty. It is loud and full of love. I look forward to it all year. What traditions does your family have?
We have a few nice traditions. Every Saturday morning, my dad makes pancakes. He has been doing this for as long as I can remember. He makes them with honey and fruit. We all eat breakfast together and talk. It's a very relaxed, happy morning. Another tradition is that on New Year's Eve, we go to my grandparents' village. We spend 2 or 3 days there. My grandmother cooks a huge dinner on New Year's Day. We play card games and watch old movies. It's very cozy. I also love our birthday traditions. In our family, on your birthday, you choose the dinner menu. The birthday person is king or queen for the day. It sounds simple, but it makes everyone feel very special. These little traditions bring us together.
I love the birthday tradition. Choosing your own dinner menu is a great idea. In our family, the birthday person also gets breakfast in bed. My mom always brings a tray with eggs, toast, and orange juice to your room in the morning. It feels so special. Now, let me ask you something different, Anna. Do you think the idea of family is changing in the world today? For example, some families have 1 parent, or 2 mothers, or 2 fathers. Some people live very far from their families. Technology changes how we stay connected. What do you think about the modern family? Is it different from the family you grew up with?
That's a great question, Mark. Yes, I think family is changing. In the past, a family usually meant a mother, a father, and children, all in one house. Today, families look different. Some children grow up with just 1 parent. Some have step-parents. Some are raised by grandparents. I think what matters most is love and support, not the shape of the family. I have friends from single-parent families who are very happy and loved. I also think technology helps modern families stay close even when they are far apart. Video calls, messages, and photos make distance smaller. My family uses a group chat every day. It's a nice way to share small moments. Family is love, not a fixed structure.
I completely agree with you. Family is love, not a fixed structure. I think what children need most is to feel safe, loved, and supported. That can happen in many different types of families. I also think technology is very helpful. My sister Lisa lives in another country now. She moved abroad for work 2 years ago. We use video calls to see her face, which makes a huge difference. It's not the same as being in the same room, of course, but it's much better than nothing. In the past, if someone moved to another country, you might only see them once a year. Now we can talk every week. Do you have any family members who live far away, Anna?
Yes, I have an uncle who lives in Canada. His name is Peter. He is my father's brother. He moved there about 15 years ago. He has a wife and 3 children there. We do not see them often, maybe once every 3 or 4 years. But we send messages and have video calls on special occasions, like birthdays and Christmas. His children, my cousins, speak English and a little bit of their local language there. I have never met them in person, only on screen. Isn't that strange? But I still feel connected to them. I hope to visit Canada one day. It would be amazing to finally hug my cousins. Do you have relatives who live abroad, Mark?
Yes, Lisa lives in Germany now. She moved there for her job in engineering. She is doing very well there. I think she is happy, but she misses home sometimes. We can see it in her face during video calls, especially around the holidays. On Christmas, she flies home, and that is the best day. The moment she walks through the door, my mom starts crying, happy tears. It is a very emotional and beautiful moment every time. I also have 2 cousins who live in Australia. We do not have much contact, but I know they are there. Family spreads around the world these days, but the heart stays connected. I think that's a wonderful thing about family. How do you feel when you think about your uncle in Canada?
I feel a little sad, but also happy for him. He built a beautiful life there. He has a good job, a lovely family, and a nice home. My father misses him, though. You can see it. When they talk on the phone, my dad is more relaxed and happy than usual. Brothers have a special bond, I think, even when they grow up and live far apart. It reminds me that family connections don't disappear with distance. They just change shape. Let's talk about something lighter now. Mark, what is the funniest thing that ever happened in your family? Every family has funny stories. I'm sure you have a good one.
Oh yes, I have a very funny story. One Christmas, my dad was cooking the turkey. He's not usually the cook, that is my mom's job, but he wanted to surprise her. He forgot to take the plastic bag of things out from inside the turkey before he put it in the oven, so the whole kitchen smelled terrible. We had to open all the windows in winter. It was so cold and so funny. My mom came home and saw the disaster, and instead of being angry, she laughed until she cried. We ended up ordering pizza for Christmas dinner that year. Now, every Christmas, my dad says, "Don't worry, I will not cook the turkey this year." We still laugh about it every single time. Do you have a funny family story, Anna?
That is hilarious. Pizza for Christmas dinner? That is a story to tell for life. My funny story is about my brother, Tom. Last year, he wanted to make breakfast for my mom on Mother's Day. He was 11 at the time. He decided to make toast with jam. Simple, right? But he put 4 pieces of bread in the toaster at the same time and then forgot about them. He went to watch TV. The toast got black and smoke filled the kitchen. The fire alarm went off. We all ran downstairs thinking there was a real emergency. My mom came in her pajamas, very worried. Then she saw Tom standing by the toaster looking very guilty. We all laughed so much. Mom still got her breakfast, slightly burnt toast with lots of jam.
Ha! Burnt toast for Mother's Day. Tom meant well. That is the sweetest part. The effort is what matters. It's funny how these small disasters become the best family memories. Now, Anna, I want to ask you about pets. Some people consider pets as part of the family too. Do you have a pet at home? In my family, we had a dog when I was a child. His name was Bruno. He was a big brown dog, very friendly and loyal. We had him for 12 years. When he died, the whole family cried. He was really part of our family. After Bruno, my parents did not want another dog because the goodbye was too painful. I understand that completely. Do you have pets?
Yes, we have a cat. Her name is Mia. She is 4 years old and she is gray and white. She is a very calm and lazy cat. She sleeps most of the day, but she loves sitting on our laps in the evening. Tom absolutely loves Mia. He always tries to dress her up in small clothes, and she tolerates it for about 2 seconds before running away. It is very funny to watch. My dad, who pretended he didn't want a cat at first, is now secretly her biggest fan. Every morning he gives her a small piece of his breakfast. He thinks we don't notice, but we all see it. Mia is definitely part of our family. Pets bring so much joy and warmth to a home. Did you ever want another dog after Bruno?
Yes, sometimes I think about getting a dog for my apartment, but I'm not sure I have enough time for one right now. Dogs need a lot of attention, walks, and company. I work long hours sometimes. I don't want to get a dog and then not give it the care it deserves. Maybe in the future, when I have a more settled life. For now, I'm happy to visit my friend's dog on weekends. His dog is very funny and energetic. I love playing with him. Mia sounds adorable. I love the image of your dad secretly giving her breakfast. That is so typical of people who say they don't like cats and then fall completely in love with them. Okay, Anna, let's talk about something important. How do you show love in your family?
That is a beautiful question. In our family, we show love in many ways. My mom says I love you a lot, out loud, directly. She is very expressive. My dad shows love through actions. He fixes things, he provides for us, he shows up. He does not say I love you as often, but when he does, it means the world. My brother gives very enthusiastic hugs. He just runs at you and hugs you with his whole body. It is very sweet. I show love by being present and by listening. When someone in my family has a problem, I sit down and really listen without interrupting. I think listening is one of the best ways to show someone you care. How does your family show love, Mark?
In my family, food is definitely love. My mom shows love by cooking. If she makes your favorite meal, she is saying, I love you in her own language. My dad shows love by teaching. He always wants to help us learn something new and be ready for life. My grandmother Betty shows love by remembering small details. She always asks about specific things I mentioned last time. It shows she really listened and cared. Becky, my funny sister, shows love through jokes and laughter. She makes sure no one feels sad or alone. Sam shows love by always being available. You can call him anytime and he answers. Each person in a family has their own love language. I think recognizing those different ways is very important. It helps you feel more connected.
I love the idea of different love languages in a family. It is so true. Some people hug, some people cook, some people fix things, some people just listen. All of those are forms of love. Mark, let me ask you one more thing before we start to wrap up. What is the most important lesson your family taught you? For me, the most important lesson is that family always comes first. No matter what happens, good times or bad times, your family is there. My parents always said, we may not be perfect, but we are always here for each other. That has shaped how I see the world. I try to be that kind of support for the people I love. What lesson did your family give you, Mark?
The most important lesson from my family is to work hard and never give up. My dad used to say, nothing good comes easy, but everything good is worth it. He worked very hard his whole life to give us a comfortable home and education. My mom showed me the value of patience and kindness every single day. And from watching my siblings, I learned how to compromise and share. Because with 4 children in one house, you have no other choice. Together, these lessons shaped who I am today. I'm grateful for every single one of them. I think families are our first and most powerful teachers. No school can teach you what a loving family teaches you. That is something I believe very deeply.
Beautifully said, Mark. Families really are our first school. I want to say one more thing. I think it is also important to appreciate your family while you can. Sometimes we are so busy with work or school or phones that we forget to really be present with the people we love. I am trying to be more mindful about this. I put my phone away at dinner. I ask my parents how they are feeling, not just what they are doing. I sit with Tom when he wants to show me something on his computer, even if I don't understand it. Small moments of attention are a gift. I think after today's conversation, many of our listeners will want to call or hug their families. I hope so. Now, let's say our goodbyes, Mark.
Yes, let's wrap up. Today was such a warm and wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed talking about family with you, Anna. I think we touched on so many important things,
parents, siblings, grandparents, traditions, memories, love, and lessons. I hope all of you listening today enjoyed it too, and I hope it helped your English a little. Try to use some of the words and phrases we talked about today. Words like siblings, tradition, memory, show love, and come first. Use them when you talk about your own family. The best way to learn a language is to connect it to something real and personal, and nothing is more personal than family. Thank you for being with us today, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mark. It was wonderful talking with you today. And thank you to all our lovely listeners for spending this time with us. I hope this podcast was not only good for your English, but also made you smile and think about your own family. Family is a topic we can all relate to, no matter where we are from or what language we speak. That's the beauty of it. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who is also learning English. It is always more fun to learn together. And please come back next time. We have more interesting topics coming very soon. Until then, take good care of yourselves and your families. Goodbye from me, Anna. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. My name is Anna, and I am so happy you are here with us today. Today's topic is very important and very personal. We are going to talk about self-respect. Maybe you know this word, or maybe it is new to you. Self-respect means that you value yourself. It means you treat yourself well, and you believe you are important. This is a big topic, but we will use simple English today, so don't worry. I am here with my wonderful co-host, Mark. We will share ideas, stories, and tips together. I hope this podcast helps you feel good about yourself. Hi, Mark. How are you today? Are you ready to talk about self-respect?
Hi, Anna. I'm doing great, thank you. Hello to all our wonderful listeners. Yes, I am very ready. Self-respect is one of my favorite topics. I think it is something every person needs to understand, young or old. When I was younger, I did not always respect myself. I let people treat me badly sometimes. I said yes when I wanted to say no. It took time to learn that I have value. Now I feel much stronger. I hope today's conversation will help our listeners feel stronger too. This podcast is in simple English, so it is great for beginners. Don't be afraid to listen many times and learn new words. Let's start, Anna. What does self-respect mean to you personally?
Great question, Mark. To me, self-respect means that I know I have value. I am not perfect, nobody is, but I am still important. I think self-respect is like a foundation. If you have a strong foundation, you can build a good life on top of it. If the foundation is weak, everything else falls down. When I respect myself, I make better choices. I choose good friends, I eat well, I sleep enough, I say no when something feels wrong. I also don't let people speak badly to me. I believe every person deserves kindness and respect, including from themselves. What do you think is the difference between self-respect and being proud or arrogant, Mark?
That is a very good question. I think self-respect and arrogance are very different things. Self-respect means you know your value, but you also respect others. Arrogance means you think you are better than other people. An arrogant person says, I am the best. A person with self-respect says, I am good enough, and so are you. Self-respect is quiet and calm. Arrogance is loud and unkind. I think many people confuse these two things. They are afraid to respect themselves because they don't want to seem arrogant. But that is not right. You can be humble and still have strong self-respect. In fact, I think truly humble people have the strongest self-respect. Do you agree, Anna?
Yes, I completely agree. Humble people know their value, but they don't need to show it loudly. They don't need other people to say, you are great, because they already believe it inside. I think self-respect starts from inside you, not from other people. This is a very important idea. Many people wait for others to tell them they are good. They need compliments every day to feel okay. But if your self-respect comes from outside, it is not stable. Today, someone says something nice and you feel good. Tomorrow, no one says anything, and you feel bad. Real self-respect does not change like the weather. It is steady. It comes from knowing yourself and accepting yourself. Mark, how do you build self-respect? Where does it come from?
I think self-respect is built through actions and habits. When I do what I say I will do, I respect myself more. For example, if I say I will exercise tomorrow, and then I actually do it, I feel proud of myself. That small action builds self-respect. But if I say it and don't do it, I feel disappointed in myself. Over time, that disappointment grows. So one big way to build self-respect is to keep your promises, especially the promises you make to yourself. I also think that knowing your values helps. What is important to you? What do you believe is right or wrong? When you live according to your values, you feel strong inside. Do you have a daily habit that helps your self-respect, Anna?
Yes, I have a few habits that really help me. Every morning, I spend 5 minutes just sitting quietly. I don't look at my phone right away. I take a breath and think about one thing I am grateful for and one thing I like about myself. It sounds simple, but it really helps me start the day feeling positive. Another habit is writing in a journal. I write about my feelings, my thoughts, and my small successes. When I look back at my journal, I see how much I have grown. It reminds me that I am trying, and trying is enough. I think many people forget their own progress. They only see what they haven't done, not what they have done. That's hard on self-respect. What do you think hurts self-respect the most, Mark?
I think the thing that hurts self-respect the most is negative self-talk. That means the bad things we say to ourselves in our own head. For example, I am stupid, I am ugly, nobody likes me, or I can never do anything right. These thoughts are like little voices, and if we listen to them too much, we start to believe them. The sad thing is, we would never say these things to a friend. If a friend made a mistake, we would say, "It's okay, try again." But we say very cruel things to ourselves. I think we must practice being kind to ourselves the same way we are kind to others. If you catch yourself saying something mean to yourself, stop. Change it to something kinder. Have you experienced negative self-talk, Anna?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone has. When I was in school, I was very hard on myself. If I got a bad grade, I would say, "You are so stupid, Anna." I would not eat well, I would not sleep, I would just feel terrible for days. Looking back, I was very unkind to myself. One thing that helped me was a teacher who told me, "Anna, you are not your grades. You are so much more than that." Those words stayed with me for a long time. I think we all need someone like that in our lives, someone who reminds us of our worth. But we also need to be that person for ourselves. We cannot always wait for someone else to be kind to us. We must be kind to ourselves first. Mark, did anyone ever help you see your own value?
Yes, my older brother helped me a lot. When I was about 16, I had a group of friends who were not very nice. They made fun of me sometimes. They called me names. I thought that was just normal because they were my friends. My brother saw what was happening and he said, "Mark, friends do not treat each other this way. You deserve better." At first, I didn't believe him. I thought maybe I was the problem, but slowly I understood that I was allowing people to disrespect me because I didn't respect myself. That was a turning point for me. I slowly changed my friends. I started to choose people who treated me well. And when I was around kinder people, I started to feel better about myself too. Do the people around us really affect our self-respect, Anna?
Absolutely they do. The people around us have a huge effect on how we feel about ourselves. If you spend time with people who criticize you, put you down, or make you feel small, your self-respect will slowly get weaker. But if you are around people who support you, encourage you, and treat you with kindness, your self-respect grows. I think of it like a plant. If you put a plant in dark, cold conditions, it will die. But if you give it sunlight and water, it will grow beautifully. We are the same. Our environment matters. This is why choosing your friends carefully is so important. It is not about being selfish, it is about protecting your inner world. Have you ever had to end a friendship because it was hurting your self-respect?
Yes, and it was one of the hardest things I ever did. I had a friend, let's call him Dan, for almost 6 years. At first, our friendship was fun, but slowly he became more and more negative. He always criticized my ideas. He said things like, "That will never work," or "You always make mistakes." After spending time with him, I always felt tired and sad. I tried to talk to him about it, but nothing changed. Finally, I decided to slowly step away from the friendship. I felt guilty at first. I thought, is it wrong to leave? But then I realized protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. After I stopped seeing Dan, I felt lighter and more confident. My self-respect got stronger. Have you ever set a boundary with someone, Anna?
Yes, and let's talk about boundaries because I think they are very connected to self-respect. A boundary is a limit you set. It is a way of saying, this is okay with me, and this is not okay with me. For example, please don't speak to me that way, or I need time alone on weekends. Boundaries are not walls. They are healthy limits that protect you. I used to have trouble setting boundaries because I was afraid people would not like me. I wanted everyone to be happy with me. But trying to make everyone happy made me very unhappy. When I started setting small boundaries, people around me actually respected me more, not less. It's like when you respect yourself, others learn to respect you too. Does setting boundaries feel difficult to you, Mark?
It used to be very difficult for me. I'm a person who likes to help others, so saying no felt very bad. I thought saying no meant I was a bad person or a bad friend. But I learned that saying no is actually a form of honesty. If I say yes when I mean no, I'm being dishonest with myself and with the other person. And over time, that builds frustration and even anger inside. Boundaries also help the other person. When you're clear about what you need, the relationship is more honest. There are fewer misunderstandings. I now practice saying no calmly and without too many explanations. Just, "No, I can't do that right now," is enough. You don't have to apologize for having limits. What is one boundary that changed your life, Anna?
One boundary that really changed my life was about my phone and social media at night. I used to check my phone right before sleeping. I would see photos of other people's lives, read negative comments, compare myself to others. I would go to sleep feeling bad about myself. One day, I decided no phone after 9 o'clock at night. It was hard at first. I felt anxious, like I was missing something. But after 1 week, I was sleeping better, feeling calmer, and thinking more positive thoughts about my own life. That one boundary made a huge difference to my self-respect and my happiness. Sometimes the smallest changes have the biggest results. I think social media can be very dangerous for self-respect if we are not careful. Do you think social media hurts self-respect, Mark?
Yes, I do. Social media can be very damaging for self-respect, especially for young people. On social media, everyone shows their best moments, the nice holidays, the perfect food, the beautiful photos, but nobody shows their hard days, their bad mornings, or their problems. So when you look at social media, you're comparing your real, normal life to other people's highlight reel, the best parts only. That comparison is never fair, and it always makes you feel worse. I think the key is to use social media intentionally. Follow accounts that inspire you or teach you something. Unfollow accounts that make you feel bad. And remember that a photo is never the whole truth. Have you ever compared yourself to someone online and felt bad, Anna?
Many times. I remember seeing photos of a girl I went to school with. She always had beautiful clothes, nice holidays, a perfect smile. I started to feel like my life was boring or not good enough. I spent a lot of time wishing I had her life. Then one day I met her in real life and we had a long conversation. She told me she was very lonely, she was going through a hard time at work, and she felt a lot of pressure to look perfect online. I was so surprised. Her online life was completely different from her real feelings inside. That was a very big lesson for me. I stopped comparing myself to the online world after that. Comparison is one of the biggest enemies of self-respect. Mark, is there anything else you think is an enemy of self-respect?
Yes, I think perfectionism is a big enemy of self-respect. Perfectionism means you think everything you do must be perfect. If it is not perfect, you feel like a failure. The problem is, nothing in life is perfect. We all make mistakes, we all have bad days. If your self-respect depends on being perfect, you will always be disappointed. I used to be very perfectionist. I worked very long hours and still felt like I had not done enough. I was never satisfied. My therapist helped me understand that done is better than perfect. Trying is more important than succeeding every time. When I accepted that I am a work in progress, not a finished product, I started to feel much better about myself. Do you think it's possible to love yourself and still want to improve?
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is a very important point. Self-respect does not mean you think you are perfect or that you have nothing to learn. It means you accept yourself as you are right now, while also believing you can grow. Think of a child learning to walk. The child falls down many times, but we don't say, "This child is a failure." We say, "Keep trying, you are doing so well." We need to be that encouraging voice for ourselves, too. You can look in the mirror and say, "I have things to work on, and I am still worthy of love and respect." Both things are true at the same time. Self-improvement and self-respect are not opposites. In fact, when you respect yourself, you want to improve because you care about your own future. Mark, let's talk about self-respect at work. Is it different there?
Great topic. Self-respect at work is very important and can be challenging. At work, there's often pressure to agree with your boss, to work extra hours, or to be quiet about problems. I had a job a few years ago where my manager spoke to me in a disrespectful way in front of other people. I felt embarrassed and small. At first, I said nothing. I thought it was normal. But after some weeks, I decided to speak to him privately. I said calmly, "I would prefer if we discuss problems in private, not in front of the team." He was surprised, but he changed his behavior. That moment was very important for my self-respect. I showed myself that I could stand up for myself calmly and professionally. Have you ever dealt with a difficult situation at work that tested your self-respect, Anna?
Yes. Once I worked very hard on a project for weeks. When we presented it to the team, a colleague took a lot of credit for my work. She spoke about her ideas, but they were my ideas. I felt angry and hurt, but I did not say anything in the meeting because I was nervous. Afterward, I went to my manager and explained the situation calmly. I said, "I want you to know that several of those ideas were mine." My manager listened and acknowledged my contribution. I learned two things from that experience. First, speak up for yourself, calmly but clearly. Second, document your work. Keep records of your ideas and progress. Self-respect at work sometimes means being your own best advocate. Nobody will promote your value if you don't do it first. What advice would you give about self-respect in relationships, Mark?
Self-respect in relationships is so important. I think the most important advice is never lose yourself for another person. In relationships, romantic ones or friendships, sometimes we change too much to make the other person happy. We give up our hobbies, our friends, our opinions. We agree with everything they say. We become a mirror of them, not ourselves. That is very dangerous. If you lose yourself, you also lose your self-respect. A healthy relationship has two whole people, not one whole person and one person who has disappeared. You must keep your identity, keep your hobbies, keep your friendships, keep your opinions, even if they're different. Of course, compromise is part of every relationship, but there is a big difference between healthy compromise and losing who you are. Have you ever lost yourself in a relationship, Anna?
Honestly, yes. When I was younger, I had a relationship where I slowly stopped doing the things I loved. I stopped painting because he said it was a waste of time. I stopped seeing certain friends because he didn't like them. I stopped sharing my real opinions because I wanted to avoid arguments. After that relationship ended, I felt like I didn't know who I was anymore. It took me a long time to find myself again. I went back to painting, I reconnected with old friends, I started to discover my own opinions again. And through that process, my self-respect grew stronger than ever before. Sometimes a difficult experience teaches us the most. Losing yourself teaches you how important it is to keep yourself. What is the connection between self-respect and forgiveness, Mark?
Oh, this is such a deep and important connection. I think forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, not the other person. When someone hurts us and we hold on to the anger and pain for a long time, it's like carrying a heavy bag everywhere. The other person is moved on, but we are still carrying that heavy weight. Forgiving does not mean saying what you did was okay. It means saying, I'm no longer going to let this hurt control my life. That is a form of self-respect. You are saying, I deserve peace. I deserve to move forward. I also think we need to forgive ourselves. We all make mistakes. We all do things we regret. Holding on to that guilt forever is also unkind to yourself. Do you find it easy to forgive yourself, Anna?
No, honestly, it is one of the hardest things for me. I can forgive other people much easier than I forgive myself. When I make a mistake, I replay it in my mind again and again. I think, why did I say that? Or I should have done it differently. It can go on for days. I am trying to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same understanding and kindness that you would give to a good friend. I try to ask myself, if my friend made this same mistake, what would I say to them? And the answer is always much kinder than what I say to myself. That small mental exercise helps me a lot. I think self-compassion and self-respect are like two best friends. They work together. Mark, how do you practice self-compassion?
I practice self-compassion by recognizing that I am human. I say to myself out loud sometimes, I am a human being. Humans make mistakes. This is normal. It sounds simple, but saying it out loud makes it feel more real. I also remind myself that I always did the best I could with what I knew at the time. If I knew better then, I would have done better. But I didn't, so I made the choice I made, and now I can learn and move forward. Another thing that helps me is reading stories of other people who made big mistakes and recovered. It reminds me that nobody is perfect, not even very successful people. Everyone struggles, everyone fails sometimes, and everyone can start again. Anna, let's talk about body image. Do you think how we feel about our body affects self-respect?
Yes, it definitely does. And this is a topic I feel strongly about. Many people, especially women, have a complicated relationship with their bodies. From a very young age, we see images of perfect bodies in magazines, movies, and social media. We are taught that we need to be thinner or have perfect skin or look a certain way. This pressure is very damaging to self-respect. I spent years not liking my body. I thought I would be happier when I lost weight or changed something about myself. But happiness never came from changing my body. Happiness came when I decided to respect my body as it is. My body does so much for me every day. It breathes, it moves, it thinks. I am grateful for it. Treating your body with care is an act of self-respect. How do you think men experience body image, Mark?
Men experience body image issues too, but we often don't talk about it. There's a pressure on men to be strong, muscular, tall. If a man doesn't look like those images, he might feel embarrassed or not good enough. I was quite thin when I was young, and some people made jokes about it. I hated taking off my shirt at the pool. I felt ashamed of my body. Over time, I started exercising, not to look a certain way, but because it made me feel strong and healthy. That shift in motivation was very important. When you exercise to punish your body or to look like someone else, it is not self-respect. When you exercise because you love and value your body, that is self-respect. The goal changes everything. Do you think self-respect is connected to mental health, Anna?
Absolutely. They are deeply connected. When we have low self-respect, we often feel anxious, sad, or empty. We feel like we don't matter. Those feelings can grow into bigger problems like depression or anxiety over time. On the other hand, when we have healthy self-respect, we handle stress better. We bounce back more quickly from difficult situations. We feel more stable and calm inside. I think self-respect is like a mental immune system. When it is strong, you can handle life's challenges without breaking. When it is weak, even small problems feel enormous. This is why working on self-respect is not selfish. It's actually taking care of your mental health. Have you ever struggled with your mental health, Mark? And how did self-respect play a role?
Yes, I went through a period of depression about 5 years ago. I was working too much, sleeping too little, and ignoring my own needs completely. I thought, I must be productive. I must achieve more. I had no time for rest, for friends, for fun. My self-respect was actually quite low at that time, even though from the outside I looked busy and successful. I finally asked for help and started seeing a therapist. One of the first things she helped me understand was that I was treating myself like a machine, not a person. Machines don't need rest or love. People do. Learning to put my own needs on the list, not at the bottom, but somewhere in the middle, was a huge step. Do you think asking for help is a sign of self-respect, Anna?
Yes, I strongly believe asking for help is a sign of self-respect, not weakness. It takes courage to say, I'm struggling and I need support. It shows that you value yourself enough to get the help you need. In many cultures, asking for help is seen as something to be ashamed of. Especially for men, there's a message that says, be strong, handle it yourself, don't show your feelings. But that message is very harmful. Everyone needs help at some point. A person who asks for help is saying, I deserve to feel better. I am worth the effort. That is beautiful self-respect. I also think that being around people who ask for help normalizes it. When my friend told me she was seeing a therapist, I felt brave enough to try it too. Have you told others about your experience with therapy, Mark?
Yes, I have, and I'm glad I did. At first, I felt nervous to tell people. I thought they would think I was weak or strange, but the reactions were almost always positive. Many people said, me too, or I'm thinking about doing that as well. Opening up made real connections. It also helped me feel less alone. I think one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself and others is to be honest about your struggles. It helps both you and the people around you. Self-respect also means being honest, especially with yourself, not pretending everything is fine when it is not hiding your needs to look perfect. True self-respect includes accepting your vulnerabilities. Anna, let's move towards some practical tips. What are your top everyday actions for building self-respect?
Great idea. Here are my favorite everyday actions. First, speak kindly to yourself. Pay attention to the words you use in your head. Replace, I am so stupid, with, I made a mistake and I can learn from it. Second, keep small promises to yourself. If you say you will take a walk, take the walk. These small acts tell your brain, I matter. Third, do one thing every day that you enjoy, just for you. Not for work, not for others, just something that makes you feel alive and happy. Fourth, spend time with people who make you feel good about yourself. Fifth, rest without guilt. Rest is not laziness. Rest is part of being a healthy, whole human being. These 5 things can truly change how you feel about yourself over time. What are your top tips, Mark?
My top tips are these. 1. Practice saying no once a week to something small. Build the muscle slowly. 2. Stop apologizing for things that don't need an apology. Many people say sorry too often for having a different opinion, for asking a question, for existing in a space. You don't need to apologize for those things. 3. Celebrate your small wins. Did you finish a hard task? Did you have a difficult conversation? That deserves a small celebration. 4. Learn something new regularly. When you grow, you feel capable, and that builds self-respect. 5. Take care of your body. Sleep, eat well, move. How you treat your body sends a message to your mind. Treat it with care, and your mind will believe you are worth caring for. Which of these do you think is the hardest for most people, Anna?
I think the hardest one for most people is stopping over-apologizing. It is such a deep habit, especially for women. We apologize for everything. Sorry, can I ask a question? Sorry, I have a different opinion. Sorry for taking up space. I used to do this all the time. I thought being apologetic made me polite, but actually, over-apologizing sends a message that says, I don't think I have the right to be here. It is the opposite of self-respect. Now, I try to replace unnecessary sorry with thank you. Instead of sorry I'm late, I say thank you for waiting. It changes the energy completely. It is still polite, but it does not put yourself down. Small language changes can really shift your mindset over time. Mark, what do you think is the connection between self-respect and success?
I think self-respect is the foundation of success, whatever success means to you. When you respect yourself, you believe you deserve good things. You believe your goals are worth pursuing. You are willing to work for them because you think you are worth the effort. Without self-respect, even if you achieve something big, you might not feel happy or satisfied. You might think, I got lucky, or I don't really deserve this. That's called imposter syndrome, the feeling that you are not good enough even when you are doing well. I've experienced that myself. On the other hand, with strong self-respect, even failure does not destroy you. You say, this did not work, what can I learn, how can I try again? Self-respect gives you resilience. Anna, do you think self-respect can be learned at any age?
Yes, 100%. Self-respect can be learned and grown at any age. I have met people in their 50s and 60s who said they finally found their self-respect after a long life. It is never too late. In fact, some of the most self-assured people I know are older people who have lived through many experiences, learned from them, and accepted themselves fully. The brain can change and grow at any age. Science has proven this. Habits can be changed at any age. Old beliefs can be questioned and replaced at any age. Of course, it is wonderful if children learn self-respect early. That is why it is so important to teach children to know their value from a young age. But if you didn't learn it as a child, you can absolutely build it now.
Before we say goodbye, I want to say a big thank you to Anna for this wonderful conversation. Talking about self-respect is not always easy, but it is so necessary. I hope that everyone listening today takes away at least one small idea that helps them feel more valued and more confident. Remember, self-respect is not arrogance. It is not selfishness. It is the quiet, strong belief that you matter. And that belief is available to every single person, including you. If you are struggling with self-respect right now, please be patient with yourself. It's a journey, not a destination. Every small step counts. Start with one kind thought about yourself today, and come back to listen to this podcast again. Repetition is great for learning. Thank you so much for being with us today, everyone.
Thank you, Mark. What a truly beautiful conversation this has been. And a huge thank you to all of you who listened today. I hope this podcast gave you something to think about and something to feel. Self-respect is a lifelong practice. Some days are easier than others, but every time you choose yourself, every time you say no to something that hurts you, every time you speak kindly to yourself, every time you set a small boundary, you are building something beautiful inside you. You are building your self-respect. If today's episode helped you, please share it with someone who might need it too. And remember our key message: you are worthy, you are enough, and you deserve to be treated with kindness, starting by yourself. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye from me, Anna. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. My name is Anna, and I am so happy you are here today. Today's topic is one of my favorite topics, summer. I love summer so much. The warm weather, the long days, the holidays, everything about summer makes me happy. Summer is a great topic to talk about in English because there are so many simple and fun words to learn. Whether you love hot weather or prefer something cooler, I think you will enjoy today's conversation. My friend Mark is here with me again. Mark, are you excited about today's topic? I cannot wait to hear what you think about summer.
Hello, everyone. I am so glad to be here. My name is Mark, and yes, I am very excited about today's topic. Summer is such a wonderful season. It is the time for holidays, sunshine, ice cream, and spending time with friends and family. In this podcast, Anna and I will talk about everything related to summer: the weather, activities, food, travel, and more. We will use simple English so it is easy for everyone to follow along. Even if you are just starting to learn English, don't worry, we will speak slowly and clearly. I hope this conversation helps you learn new words and feel more confident in English. Let's begin.
Mark, let me start with a simple question. What is your favorite thing about summer? For me, it is definitely the sunshine. I love waking up in the morning and seeing a bright blue sky. In winter, the days are short and gray, but in summer, the sun rises early and sets late. There is so much light. I feel so much happier and more energetic in summer. The warm weather also makes me want to go outside and be active. I love walking in the park, sitting in a cafe outside, or just reading a book in the garden. Sunshine really changes my mood completely. What about you, Mark?
Anna, I love the sunshine too, but my favorite thing about summer is the long evenings. In summer, it stays light until 9 or even 10 o'clock at night. That means more time to enjoy the outdoors after work or school. I love sitting outside with friends in the evening, having a cold drink and just talking and relaxing. There is something very special about a warm summer evening. Everything feels slower and more relaxed. People seem happier and friendlier too. I also love that in summer you can do so many activities outside. Barbecues, walks, outdoor cinema, festivals. Summer evenings are truly magical. They are my absolute favorite part of the season.
Oh, yes, summer evenings are so beautiful. I love them too. Mark, let's talk about summer weather. Summer means hot weather for most people, but how hot do you like it? I personally love warm weather, but not too hot. Around 25 degrees Celsius is perfect for me. When it is over 35 degrees, I find it too hot. I feel tired and uncomfortable. I drink a lot of water, stay in the shade, and try not to go outside in the middle of the day. What temperature do you prefer in summer? And do you have any tips for staying cool when it is very hot outside? Hot weather can be tough.
25 degrees is perfect. I agree with you, Anna. I also love warm weather, but extreme heat is very difficult. When it is very hot, I drink a lot of cold water, maybe 2 or 3 liters a day. I also wear light, loose clothing. Light colors like white and yellow are best because they do not absorb as much heat as dark colors. I also use a fan or air conditioning at home. Taking a cold shower in the afternoon is wonderful when it is hot. And I try to do outdoor activities in the morning or evening, not at midday when the sun is strongest. Staying hydrated is the most important thing in hot weather.
Great tips, Mark. Staying hydrated is so important. I always carry a water bottle with me in summer. Mark, let's talk about summer holidays. Do you take a holiday in summer? I think summer is the most popular time for holidays. Many people travel in July and August because children are not in school. I love going on holiday in summer. Last summer, I went to the beach for 1 week. It was wonderful. I swam in the sea, ate delicious food, and relaxed in the sun. The beach is my favorite holiday destination in summer. Do you prefer the beach, the mountains, or the city for a summer holiday? What is your dream summer holiday?
I love summer holidays. Last summer, I went to a small village in the mountains. It was cooler there than in the city, which was really nice. I went hiking every day and saw beautiful views. The mountains are so peaceful and quiet. But I also love the beach. The sea, the sand, the sound of the waves, it is very relaxing. I think my dream summer holiday would be a mix of both, a few days at the beach and a few days in the mountains. I also love city trips in summer. Many cities have outdoor events and festivals in summer. There are so many options. Every type of holiday has something special to offer.
A mix of beach and mountains sounds wonderful. Mark, let's talk about summer food. I think food is one of the best parts of summer. In summer, I eat differently than in winter. I eat more salads, fresh fruits, and cold foods. My favorite summer fruit is watermelon. It is so refreshing and sweet. I also love strawberries, cherries, and peaches. They are all at their best in summer. I also enjoy ice cream a lot in summer. There are so many flavors. My favorite is lemon ice cream. It tastes so fresh and cold. Do you have favorite summer foods? I think food is one of the best things about the warm season.
Anna, I completely agree. Summer food is amazing. My absolute favorite summer food is a barbecue. I love cooking outside with friends. We grill chicken, vegetables, and corn on the cob. Everyone sits together, eats, and has fun. It is a very social kind of meal. I also love cold drinks in summer. Fresh lemonade, iced tea, and fruit smoothies. They are so refreshing on a hot day. And yes, ice cream is essential. My favorite flavor is chocolate, but I also love mango ice cream. Summer is also great for eating outside at restaurants and cafes. There's something special about eating good food in the warm sunshine with the people you love.
A barbecue sounds so fun. I love those too. Mark, let's talk about summer activities. There are so many things you can do in summer that you cannot do in other seasons. I love swimming. In summer, I go to the swimming pool or the beach very often. Swimming is great exercise and it is also very fun. I also love cycling in summer. The weather is perfect for riding a bike along a nice path. And I love having picnics in the park. I take a blanket, some food, and my friends, and we sit outside for hours. It is so simple, but so enjoyable. What are your favorite summer activities? Do you prefer outdoor sports or something more relaxing?
I love so many summer activities. I enjoy swimming too. It is the perfect way to cool down on a hot day. I also love playing beach volleyball. It is so energetic and fun. I also enjoy hiking in summer, as I mentioned before, but I also like more relaxing activities. I love reading a book outside in the shade of a tree. There's nothing better than a good book, a warm day, and a cold drink beside you. I also enjoy outdoor concerts and festivals in summer. Many cities have free outdoor music events in summer. Going to a summer festival with friends is one of my favorite summer memories. Summer is really the best season for fun.
Outdoor concerts are so much fun. I love them too. Mark, I want to talk about the beach. The beach is maybe the most popular summer destination for many people. I love going to the beach. The sound of the sea is so calming. I love to swim, but I also love to just lie on the sand and relax. I always bring sunscreen to the beach. It is very important to protect your skin from the sun. I use SPF 50, especially in the middle of the day. Some people forget sunscreen and then they get sunburned. That is very painful and also bad for your skin. Do you always use sunscreen at the beach, Mark?
Yes, sunscreen is absolutely essential. I always use it, especially at the beach. The sun at the beach is very strong. The reflection from the water and sand makes it even stronger. I use SPF 30 or 50, and I reapply it every 2 hours. I also wear a hat and sunglasses to protect my face and eyes. Staying in the shade during the midday hours from 12 to 3 in the afternoon is also a good idea. I love the beach, but I am always careful about the sun. Sunburn is very painful, and too much sun exposure is not healthy. Enjoy the beach, but always protect yourself. Good sun habits are very important for your health.
Such good advice. Sun protection is so important. Mark, let's talk about summer clothes. I love summer fashion. In summer, I wear light dresses, shorts, sandals, and colorful tops. It is so nice not to wear heavy winter coats and boots. I feel free and comfortable in summer clothes. My favorite summer color is yellow. It feels so sunny and happy. I also love floral patterns in summer. Everything looks more cheerful and bright. I always carry a light cardigan in my bag because sometimes places like shops or restaurants have very strong air conditioning and it can get cold inside. What do you like to wear in summer, Mark? Do you have a favorite summer style?
I love summer clothes too. In summer, I wear shorts, light t-shirts, and sandals. Everything is simple and comfortable. I prefer plain colors, white, light blue, and light gray. They feel cool and clean. I also always wear a cap or a hat outside to protect my head from the sun. I think the best thing about summer clothes is how easy they are. In winter, you have to think about many layers. In summer, you just put on a t-shirt and shorts and you're ready. I also agree about the cardigan tip. Air conditioning in shops and cinemas can be very cold in summer. Always have a light layer with you. It is very practical.
So practical. Mark, let's talk about summer and children. I think summer is the happiest time for children. They do not have school. They have long summer holidays, sometimes 2 or 3 months. When I was a child, I loved summer so much. I spent my summers at my grandmother's house in the countryside. We played outside every day. We ran in the fields, picked berries, played in the river, and caught butterflies. Those are some of my best childhood memories. Summer felt endless and magical when I was young. Do you have good memories from your childhood summers, Mark? I think summer memories from childhood are very special and last forever.
Oh yes, my childhood summers were the best. I grew up near the sea, so every summer we went to the beach almost every day. My parents would pack lunch and we would spend the whole day there, swimming, building sandcastles, playing in the waves. I also remember summer evenings playing football with the neighborhood kids until it was dark. Those were such simple but happy times. I also loved summer fairs and festivals in our town. There was always music, food stalls, and fun games. Childhood summers feel so free and carefree. Now, as an adult, I try to bring some of that same joy into my summers, spending time outside, relaxing, and enjoying simple pleasures.
That sounds so beautiful, Mark. Childhood summers really are magical. Now, let's talk about something different: summer and health. Summer can be very good for your health, but it can also be challenging. The sunshine gives us vitamin D, which is important for our bones and our mood. People often feel happier in summer because of the sunlight. Exercise is also easier in summer because the weather is nice and you want to be outside. But summer can also bring problems: too much sun, dehydration, and heat exhaustion. I always try to be careful about these things. Do you think summer is generally a healthy season? What do you do to stay healthy in summer?
Summer is a wonderful season for health when you are careful. The extra vitamin D from sunlight really does boost your mood and energy. I sleep better in summer too. The warmth makes me feel relaxed. I also exercise more in summer because I love being outside. I walk, swim, and cycle much more than in winter. But yes, the heat can be a risk. Drinking enough water is the #1 thing for summer health. I also eat lighter foods in summer, more salads and fruits, less heavy meals. And I try not to stay in the sun too long. Taking care of yourself in summer means you can enjoy everything the season has to offer without any problems.
So well said. Mark, let me ask about summer and travel. Summer is the most popular travel season. Airports and trains are very busy in July and August. Hotels and holidays can also be more expensive in summer. Have you ever had any travel adventures or funny travel stories from summer? I remember one summer I missed my flight because of a traffic jam on the way to the airport. It was a terrible day. But then I got on the next flight and my holiday was wonderful. Travel does not always go perfectly, but those stories become funny memories later. Do you have any memorable summer travel stories? Good or bad ones are both welcome.
Oh, I have a funny travel story. One summer, my friends and I drove to the coast for a camping trip. We were so excited. But when we arrived, we realized we forgot the tent at home. We had all our sleeping bags and food, but no tent.
We had to sleep in the car that first night. It was very uncomfortable, but we laughed so much about it. The next day, we bought a cheap tent from a local shop, and the rest of the holiday was perfect. Now that story is one of our favorite memories to tell. Travel surprises and mistakes make the best stories. The most important thing is to stay positive and laugh about the unexpected things.
That story is so funny. Sleeping in the car? Oh no! But I love that it became a great memory. Mark, let's talk about summer festivals and events. Summer is full of fun events. There are music festivals, outdoor cinema, food festivals, sports events, and local fairs. I love going to local summer festivals. They are usually free or not expensive. There is music, food, dancing, and a great atmosphere. Last summer, I went to an outdoor jazz festival in my city. It was a beautiful, warm evening, the music was wonderful, and I sat on the grass with my friends. It felt like a perfect summer night. Do you enjoy going to festivals and events in summer? What kind of events do you like most?
Summer festivals are one of my favorite things. I love music festivals most of all. There's something amazing about listening to live music outside under the open sky. The energy of the crowd, the music, the warm air, it is a truly special experience. I also love food festivals. You can try so many different types of food in one place. It's a great way to discover new cuisines. I have tried foods from many different countries at food festivals. I also enjoy street markets in summer. Many cities have outdoor markets on weekends in summer. You can find fresh produce, handmade crafts, and delicious snacks. Summer really brings communities together in such a joyful way.
Outdoor markets are lovely. I always find something special at them. Mark, let's talk about gardening in summer. Do you like gardening? I think summer is the best time for gardens. Everything is green and in bloom. Flowers, vegetables, fruit trees. Everything looks so beautiful. I have a small balcony garden. In summer, I grow tomatoes, herbs, and flowers on my balcony. I love watering my plants in the morning with a cup of coffee. It is so peaceful. And eating tomatoes from my own balcony is so satisfying. There is something special about growing your own food. It tastes better when you grow it yourself. Do you do any gardening in summer, or do you just enjoy other people's gardens?
I love gardens, but I am not very good at growing plants. I have tried a few times, and usually the plants do not survive very long. I think I forget to water them regularly. But I admire people who are good at gardening. My parents have a beautiful garden with roses, lavender, and vegetable beds. When I visit them in summer, I love sitting in their garden. The smell of flowers in a summer garden is just wonderful. I also love visiting botanical gardens and parks in summer. Seeing all the different flowers and plants in full bloom is so beautiful. Maybe one day I will learn to be a better gardener. For now, I will enjoy other people's gardens.
That is very honest, Mark. Gardens are beautiful to enjoy even if you do not grow plants yourself. Mark, let's talk about summer and learning English. Many people use summer as a time to study or improve their English. Maybe they travel to an English-speaking country, or they take a summer English course. I think summer is actually a great time to practice English because there are so many fun ways to do it. You can watch English movies, listen to English podcasts like this one, read easy books in English, or talk to tourists in English. What do you think is the best way to practice English in summer? Do you have any tips for our listeners?
What a great topic. Summer is a wonderful time to practice English in a relaxed way. I think the best tip is to make English fun, not like homework. Watch your favorite movies or TV shows in English with subtitles. Read simple books or short stories in English. Listen to English songs and try to understand the words. If you travel somewhere where English is spoken, try to speak with local people. Even just saying hello and thank you is great practice. You can also keep a simple summer diary in English. Write a few sentences each day about what you did. It does not need to be perfect. The important thing is to practice every day, even for just 10 or 15 minutes.
I love the diary idea. Writing in English every day is such good practice, and summer gives you so many things to write about. Mark, let's talk about something I find really interesting, how different countries celebrate summer. In some countries, summer means going to the beach every weekend. In other countries, it means mountain holidays. In Scandinavia, people celebrate midsummer with big outdoor parties. In some countries, summer is the rainy season, not hot and sunny. Not everyone experiences summer the same way. I think it is fascinating how the same season can be so different depending on where you live. Do you know about any interesting summer traditions from other countries that you find interesting or surprising?
That is such an interesting point. Summer really is different around the world. In Japan, there are beautiful summer festivals called Matsuri with fireworks and traditional dances. People wear colorful, traditional clothing and celebrate outdoors. In Sweden, the Midsummer Festival is one of the most important celebrations of the year. People dance, sing, and eat traditional food around a decorated pole. In Brazil, summer is in December and January, which is very different for people from the Northern Hemisphere. In some tropical countries, summer brings monsoon rains, not sunshine. Learning about how different cultures experience and celebrate summer is a wonderful way to learn about the world. Every tradition is unique and fascinating.
The Japanese summer festivals with fireworks sound absolutely magical. I would love to experience that one day. Mark, let's talk about summer and sleep. I find it harder to sleep in summer. The nights are shorter and it stays light outside for a long time. My bedroom also gets very warm, and I do not sleep well when I'm hot. I use a fan at night, and I open the window to let in cool air. I also use light cotton sheets instead of heavy blankets. But still, some summer nights are very uncomfortable. Do you sleep well in summer? Do you have any tips for sleeping better when it is hot? I think many people have this problem in summer.
Oh, I definitely have this problem too. Sleeping in summer heat can be really difficult. My best tip is to close the curtains during the day to keep the room cool. This makes a big difference. Also, take a cool shower before bed. Not very cold, just refreshing. Your body temperature will go down and you will feel more comfortable. Wear light pajamas or sleep in just a light sheet. You can also put a cold, wet cloth on your forehead or wrists to cool down quickly. Drinking a glass of cold water before bed also helps. And yes, a fan is very useful. Point it towards the window to push hot air out and pull cooler air in. These tips really do work.
Those tips are so useful. I will try the curtains one. I think my room gets very hot because I leave the curtains open all day. Mark, let's talk about summer and exercise. I think many people exercise more in summer because the weather is nice. But exercising in the heat can also be dangerous. It is important to exercise at the right time of day. I like to go for my walks and runs in the early morning before it gets too hot. The air is fresh, the streets are quiet, and the temperature is comfortable. By midday, it is too hot to run outside. What kind of exercise do you do in summer, and when do you prefer to exercise during the summer months?
Early morning exercise is perfect in summer. I also prefer to exercise in the morning, usually around 7 or 8 o'clock. It is cool and pleasant then. I go for a run along the river near my home. It is beautiful in the morning. The light is soft and there are not many people around. I also swim a lot in summer. Swimming is one of the best summer exercises because it keeps you cool while you're working out. In the evenings, I sometimes go for a long walk or cycle ride when the temperature goes down again. I always bring water when I exercise outside in summer. Exercising in the heat without water is very dangerous. Safety is always the first priority.
Swimming really is the perfect summer exercise. Mark, I want to ask about something a little different now. What is your least favorite thing about summer? Every season has some downsides. For me, it is insects. In summer, there are mosquitoes, flies, and other bugs. I hate mosquitoes. They bite me every night, and I always wake up with itchy red spots. I use mosquito spray and a special plug-in device in my bedroom, but some still get through. It is very annoying. I also do not enjoy the crowds in summer. Popular beaches and tourist places get very crowded and noisy in summer. I prefer quieter, less busy places. What about you? What do you like least about summer?
Anna, mosquitoes are definitely my least favorite part of summer too.
They're so annoying. I also use spray and try to cover my arms in the evenings when they are most active. My other least favorite thing about summer is the traffic and crowds. Highways and airports are so busy in summer. Everything is more expensive. Hotels, flights, restaurants, popular tourist spots are packed with people. Sometimes it's hard to relax and enjoy yourself when everywhere is so crowded. I also sometimes miss the coziness of autumn and winter. Hot drinks, warm blankets, and quiet evenings inside also have a special charm. But overall, the good things about summer definitely outweigh the bad things. Summer is still my favorite season.
I agree. The good things definitely outweigh the bad. Mosquitoes are a small price to pay for all the wonderful things summer brings. Mark, let's talk about summer sunsets. I think summer sunsets are some of the most beautiful things in nature. Because the days are so long in summer, the sunset happens late, sometimes at 9 or even 10 o'clock. I love watching the sunset in summer. The sky turns pink, orange, and purple. It is absolutely stunning. I often go to a high point in my city to watch the sunset. It feels very special. Have you ever watched a particularly beautiful summer sunset that you still remember? Where were you, and what made it so special?
Summer sunsets are truly magical. I've seen some incredible ones. My most memorable was on a boat trip last summer. We were on the sea in the evening, and the sun started to set. The whole sky turned bright orange and red, and the light reflected on the water. It was breathtaking. Everyone on the boat stopped talking and just watched. Nobody said anything for minutes. It was that beautiful. Another beautiful sunset I remember was watching the sun go down behind the mountains. The colors changed slowly from yellow to orange to deep purple. Nature is truly the best artist. I think stopping to watch a beautiful sunset is one of the simplest and most wonderful pleasures of summer.
That boat sunset sounds absolutely incredible. Mark, let's talk about summer reading. I think summer is the perfect time to read. You have more free time, you can sit outside, and a good book in the sunshine is such a pleasure. I love reading on holiday. I always pack at least 2 books for any trip. Last summer, I read a wonderful story about a family who travels across Europe by train. It was simple to read, but very engaging. I think reading in English is also a great way to improve your language skills. Do you read in summer? And do you have any book recommendations for beginners who want to read in English? Easy, enjoyable books are the best place to start.
I love reading in summer. I agree, it is the perfect season for books. For beginners who want to read in English, I recommend short stories and simple novels. Books by Roald Dahl are wonderful for beginners. The language is clear and the stories are very entertaining. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid series is also easy and very funny. For something more relaxing, try travel books or simple romance stories. Reading in a language you are learning might feel difficult at first, but start with very short texts. Even 1 page a day is great progress. Use a dictionary for new words and try to enjoy the story, not just translate every word. Reading should be enjoyable, not stressful.
Roald Dahl is a great recommendation. His stories are so imaginative and fun. Mark, let's talk about summer and friendship. I think summer is a time when friendships feel especially strong. You spend more time with people outside. You have shared experiences, holidays, barbecues, picnics, festivals. Those shared summer moments bring people closer together. Some of my strongest friendships are built on summer memories. I have a group of friends who I met on a summer language course many years ago. We are still very close today. Summer seems to create a special atmosphere where people connect more easily. Do you think summer is a good time for building friendships? Do you have any special summer friendships or memories with friends?
Absolutely. Summer is wonderful for friendships. When the weather is good, people naturally want to be outside and social. You meet neighbors, join community events, and talk to strangers more easily. I think the relaxed atmosphere of summer makes people more open and friendly. Some of my best friendships started in summer, at camps, on holidays, or at outdoor events. I also think summer is a great time to reconnect with old friends you do not see very often during the busy winter months. A simple phone call to invite someone for a walk or a barbecue can restart a friendship. Summer gives you natural reasons to reach out and spend time with people you care about. It's a social season.
So beautifully said, Mark. Summer really is a social season. It connects people in such a natural way. Mark, we are getting close to the end of our conversation today. I want to ask you one final big question before we wrap up. If you could design your perfect summer day from morning to night, what would it look like? Where would you be? Who would you be with? And what would you do? I think this is a fun and creative question. It also helps our listeners practice thinking and talking about daily activities in English. I will tell you my perfect summer day after you share yours. I already have it planned in my head, and I cannot wait to share it.
Oh, I love this question. My perfect summer day would start with an early morning run along the coast while the air is still cool and fresh. Then a big breakfast outside, fresh bread, fruit, eggs, and a good coffee. After breakfast, I would go to the beach with my closest friends. We would swim, play beach volleyball, and just relax in the sun. In the afternoon, we would find a nice shaded terrace and have a long, slow lunch with cold drinks. In the evening, we would watch the sunset from a boat on the sea. Then dinner outside at a local restaurant with good food and great conversation. Finally, we would sit around a fire on the beach and talk and laugh until late at night. That would be my perfect summer day.
What a wonderful conversation today, Mark. I feel so happy just talking about summer. We talked about so many great things: the weather, food, holidays, activities, travel, fitness, sleep, sunsets, reading, friendships, and so much more. I hope our listeners learned some new English words and phrases today, and I hope this conversation made you feel excited about summer, or maybe a little nostalgic if summer is not here yet. Remember, the best way to improve your English is to listen, speak, and enjoy the language. Thank you so much to everyone who listened today. Summer and English learning are both beautiful journeys. Enjoy both of them to the fullest.
Thank you, Anna. This was such a joyful conversation. And thank you to all our wonderful listeners for spending time with us today. Summer really is a special season, full of warmth, light, and happy memories. I hope our conversation gave you some ideas for things to do this summer and some useful English vocabulary to talk about summer with your friends. If you want to improve your English, use summer as your teacher. Go outside, experience new things, and try to describe them in English. Keep a summer journal, listen to English podcasts, and speak as much as you can. Learning English can be just as fun and warm as a beautiful summer day. Until next time, enjoy the sunshine, stay happy, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. I'm Anna, and I'm so happy you're here with us today. We have a really fun topic for you, one that I personally love very much. Today, we're going to talk about sleep and dreams. Yes, you heard that right. We all dream and we all sleep, or at least we try to. But did you know that sleep is actually one of the most important things you can do for your health and happiness? Stay with us because this is going to be a great conversation. And trust me, by the end, you might just want to go take a nap.
Thanks, Anna. Hi, everyone. I'm Mark. And yes, I'm very excited about today's topic, too. I will be honest with you. I was a little late preparing for this episode because I was sleeping. But honestly, I think that counts as research. In this podcast, we talk about real life in simple, clear English. So if you're learning the language, you're in the right place. Today's topic is perfect for beginners and for anyone who loves their bed a little too much. So get comfortable, maybe grab a warm drink, and let's talk about sleep and why you should never give up on your dreams, especially the sleeping kind.
So, Mark, let's start with something simple. How many hours do you sleep every night? Be honest.
Okay, I'll be honest. I try to sleep about 7 to 8 hours, but sometimes it's less. When I have a busy week, I might only sleep 6 hours, and I can really feel the difference. I get tired easily, I make more mistakes at work, and I'm not very happy. So I've learned that sleep is not something you can skip. What about you, Anna? Are you a good sleeper?
I think I'm a pretty good sleeper, yes. I love sleeping. I go to bed around 10 or 11 at night and wake up around 7 in the morning. But I have one big problem. I check my phone before bed. I know it's bad for sleep, but it's a very hard habit to break. Doctors say the light from screens makes it harder to fall asleep. Have you ever had problems falling asleep, Mark?
Oh, definitely. There were times when I would lie in bed for an hour or more, just thinking about work or problems. It was very frustrating. My mind was too active. I couldn't stop thinking. I tried some things to help, like reading a book or listening to calm music. That helped a little. But the biggest change for me was keeping a regular schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. After a few weeks, it became much easier to fall asleep quickly.
That's great advice, Mark. A regular schedule is really important. Our bodies have something called a circadian rhythm. It's like an internal clock that tells us when to sleep and when to wake up. If we go to bed at very different times every day, we confuse our body clock. That's why people who work night shifts or travel a lot often have problems with sleep. Have you ever experienced jet lag, Mark?
Yes, jet lag is terrible. I traveled from Europe to Japan once, and the time difference was about 8 hours. For the first 3 or 4 days, I was awake at 3 in the morning and completely asleep at lunchtime. It was a strange experience. My body didn't know what time it was. It took almost a week to feel normal again. The best advice I got was to try to stay awake until the local bedtime in the new place. Not easy, but it really helped.
That's a smart strategy. So, we've talked a little about how much we sleep and some common sleep problems. Now let's talk about why sleep is actually so important. Many people think sleeping is just doing nothing, but that's completely wrong. During sleep, your body is very busy. Your brain processes everything that happened during the day. Your muscles repair themselves. Your immune system gets stronger. Sleep is basically your body's reset button.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much sleep affects the brain. When you sleep, your brain clears out waste products, things that build up during the day when you're thinking and working. There's actually a system in the brain called the glymphatic system. It works mostly when you sleep. Some scientists believe that not sleeping enough might increase the risk of diseases like Alzheimer's over the long term. That's a serious reason to take sleep seriously.
Wow, that's really interesting and a little scary. But let's also talk about something more fun, dreams. When we chose the title, Never Give Up on Your Dreams, Keep Sleeping, we were making a little joke, of course. But dreams are actually fascinating. Do you remember your dreams, Mark?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It seems like I remember my dreams best when I wake up in the middle of one. If I wake up naturally after the dream finishes, I usually forget it very quickly. Scientists say that most people forget about 95% of their dreams, but the ones I do remember are often very strange. Flying over cities, being in school again, or talking to people I haven't seen in years. Dreams are like little movies in your head.
Yes, I love that description, little movies. I often have very vivid dreams. Sometimes they feel so real that when I wake up, I'm confused for a moment. There's actually a word for that feeling, hypnopompic confusion. It happens in those first seconds after you wake up when your brain is still partly in the dream world. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yes, especially when my alarm goes off in the middle of a deep dream. I once woke up from a dream where I was giving a presentation at work, and for a few seconds I was looking around my bedroom thinking, where is my audience? It was very funny, but also a little embarrassing, even though no one was there. Okay, so we know dreams are interesting, but what do they actually mean? Do you believe dreams have meanings?
That's a big question. There are many different ideas about this. In the past, people believed dreams were messages from gods or the future. Sigmund Freud, the famous psychologist, thought dreams showed our hidden feelings and desires. Today, many scientists think dreams are more like the brain organizing memories and processing emotions. Personally, I think dreams can sometimes reflect things we're worried about or excited about in real life, but I don't think every dream has a deep hidden message.
I agree. I think if you dream about being chased, it probably means you're stressed about something, not that a monster is actually coming for you. But some people love to analyze their dreams.
There are even dream journals, notebooks where you write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. I tried keeping one for a while. It was interesting because I started to notice patterns. I often dreamed about water when I was feeling uncertain about something in my life.
Oh, that's very interesting. Water is actually one of the most common dream symbols. Many dream researchers say water can represent emotions: calm water for peace, rough water for stress or confusion. I think keeping a dream journal is a lovely idea. It helps you be more self-aware. And the act of writing first thing in the morning is actually a good habit for your mental health, too. Some people call it morning pages, just writing freely without thinking too much.
I like that idea. Writing in the morning before your day starts can help you feel more calm and organized. Okay, let's talk about something practical now. We all know sleep is important, but many people still don't sleep enough. Life is busy. Work, family, phone, social media. There are so many things that take our time and energy. What do you think are the biggest enemies of good sleep, Anna?
I think the number one enemy is definitely screens. Phones, tablets, computers, televisions. The blue light from screens signals to our brain that it's still daytime, so the brain stops producing melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that makes us feel sleepy. That's why many sleep experts say to stop using screens at least an hour before bed. Other big enemies are caffeine, stress, and irregular schedules. Caffeine is interesting because it can stay in your body for 6 to 8 hours, so that afternoon coffee can still affect your sleep at midnight.
6 to 8 hours. That's a long time. I didn't know caffeine lasted that long. I usually drink coffee in the morning, so I think I'm okay. But I know some people who drink coffee at 5 or 6 in the evening and then wonder why they can't sleep. Now it makes sense. What about alcohol? Some people say a glass of wine helps them sleep. Is that true?
This is a common misunderstanding. Alcohol can make you fall asleep faster, that part is true, but it actually makes your sleep quality much worse. Alcohol reduces something called REM sleep, which is the stage of sleep when you dream and when your brain processes emotions and memories. So even if you sleep 8 hours after drinking, you might wake up feeling tired and foggy. It's not real, deep, restoring sleep. So alcohol is not a good sleep solution at all.
That's really good to know. So, what actually helps with sleep? What are some good habits that people can try?
There are several things that really work. First, keep a consistent schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Second, make your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Our bodies sleep better in slightly cooler temperatures. Third, avoid screens for an hour before bed. Instead, try reading, stretching, or relaxing with calm music. Fourth, don't drink caffeine in the afternoon or evening. And fifth, this one surprises many people, don't lie in bed if you can't sleep. Get up, do something calm, and go back to bed when you feel sleepy again.
That last one is interesting. Most people think you should just stay in bed and keep trying. But I've read that lying in bed awake for a long time can actually make sleep problems worse. Your brain starts to associate the bed with wakefulness and anxiety instead of sleep. So getting up is actually the smarter thing to do. The technical term for this approach is called stimulus control therapy. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. Your bed should only be for sleeping.
Exactly. And speaking of sleep therapy, there's actually a very effective treatment for chronic insomnia called CBTI, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomnia. It's not medication, it's a type of talking therapy that helps people change their thoughts and habits around sleep. Studies show it works better than sleeping pills in the long run, and without any side effects. If someone is having serious ongoing sleep problems, CBTI is really worth looking into.
That's great to know. I think many people reach for medication too quickly when they have sleep problems. Medication can help in the short term, but it doesn't solve the root cause. Changing habits and mindset is more powerful. Okay, let's talk about naps. I love a good nap. Are naps good or bad?
Oh, this is a great debate. Naps can be wonderful, or they can make things worse. It really depends on how long you nap and what time of day. A short nap of about 20 minutes, sometimes called a power nap, can boost your energy, mood, and concentration. But if you nap for a long time, like 2 hours, or nap too late in the afternoon, it can make it hard to sleep at night. In some cultures, like in Spain, a midday rest called a siesta is a traditional part of life. Many people believe it improves productivity.
I love the idea of a siesta. Maybe we should bring that to more countries. I've read that even NASA did research on napping. They found that a 26-minute nap improved the alertness of their pilots by 54%. That's huge. Of course, most of us aren't flying planes, but the principle is the same. A short nap can really restore your focus. The key word is short. I always set an alarm when I nap, because if I sleep too long, I feel terrible afterward, that groggy, confused feeling.
Yes, that groggy feeling has a name. It's called sleep inertia. It happens when you wake up during deep sleep instead of light sleep. Your brain needs some time to fully wake up, and during that time you feel slow and confused. A short nap helps you avoid deep sleep, so you wake up feeling refreshed instead. One funny trick some people use is the coffee nap. You drink a cup of coffee right before you nap. Caffeine takes about 20 minutes to kick in, so you wake up just as it starts working. Clever, right?
The coffee nap. I've heard of that. I'm not sure I've tried it successfully, but the science actually makes sense. Caffeine blocks something called adenosine, a chemical that builds up in your brain during the day and makes you feel sleepy. Sleep also clears adenosine naturally, so if both happen at the same time, you double the effect. I'm going to try that this afternoon, purely for scientific research, of course.
Of course, it's always science. Okay, let's talk about something a little different, the connection between sleep and mental health. This is really important. We often think about physical health when we talk about sleep, but sleep has a huge effect on how we feel emotionally, too. Have you ever noticed how different you feel after a bad night of sleep?
Absolutely. After a poor night's sleep, I feel irritable, anxious, and everything feels harder. Small problems seem much bigger, I'm less patient with people, it's harder to find positive feelings. On the other hand, after a really good, deep sleep, I feel calm, optimistic, and ready for anything. It's almost like sleep resets my emotional state. Research shows that the brain regions that manage emotions, like the amygdala, are much more reactive when we haven't slept enough. Basically, lack of sleep makes us emotionally overreactive.
That's so true, and it can become a cycle. Stress makes it hard to sleep, and then not sleeping makes the stress worse. Mental health conditions like anxiety and depression are closely linked to sleep problems. Many people with depression sleep too much, others can't sleep at all. And treating sleep problems can actually help improve depression and anxiety, not just the other way around. That's why sleep is sometimes called a pillar of mental health, just like exercise and nutrition.
I like that, a pillar. It's a strong image. Sleep, exercise, and nutrition are like three legs of a table. If one leg is weak or broken, the whole table is unstable. You can't just focus on diet and exercise and ignore sleep. All three work together. And I think in modern culture, we often celebrate people who sleep less, like, I only sleep 4 hours, I'm so productive. But that's actually not something to be proud of. Most people need 7 to 9 hours, and pretending otherwise is just harmful.
Yes, there's a kind of culture in some business and tech worlds where sleeping less is seen as a sign of dedication or strength. Elon Musk famously said he only sleeps 6 hours, but most sleep scientists say that very few people, only 1 to 3%, can function well on less than 7 hours. Everyone else is just suffering and not realizing it. When you're chronically sleep-deprived, you lose the ability to accurately judge how tired you actually are. You get used to feeling bad and think it's normal.
That's a really important point. You adapt to feeling terrible and stop noticing it. It's called baseline shift. I think many people in busy, stressful jobs are in this situation. They drink more and more coffee, rely on energy drinks, push through with willpower, and think they're fine. But their creativity, judgment, and emotional health are quietly suffering. It makes me think we all need to take sleep much more seriously as a society. Maybe even in schools and workplaces, sleep education should be a normal part of health education.
I completely agree. Some schools have already changed their start times to later in the morning because research shows that teenagers naturally have a later sleep cycle. Their brains release melatonin later at night, so they can't fall asleep early even if they want to. Making teenagers wake up at 6:30 for school goes against their biology. The schools that made this change reported better grades, fewer absences, and improved mental health in students. Small changes in how we treat sleep can make a big difference.
That's a really hopeful example. And it shows that when we take sleep seriously at a social level, not just an individual level, good things happen. We've covered so much today. Sleep cycles, dreams, naps, mental health, teenagers. It's been a really rich conversation. Before we close, Anna, let's share our top personal tips. What is the one sleep habit that has helped you the most?
For me, it's definitely having a consistent bedtime, going to sleep and waking up at the same time every day. I know I said earlier that I struggle with my phone, and that's still something I'm working on, but having a regular bedtime has made a huge difference in how easily I fall asleep and how rested I feel in the morning. My body knows what to expect, and it prepares itself. Even on weekends, I try not to change my schedule by more than 1 hour. What about you, Mark?
Mine is keeping my bedroom cool and dark. I used to sleep with the curtains half open because I liked a little light in the morning. But after I got blackout curtains, the quality of my sleep improved so much. Also, I keep the temperature a little cooler than the rest of my apartment at night. Our bodies naturally drop in temperature during sleep, so a cool room supports that process. It sounds like a small thing, but it really works. I also put my phone on silent and face down. Out of sight, out of mind.
You know, Mark, we've talked a lot about science and health, but I want to talk about something more personal, sleep and creativity. I personally feel that my best ideas come right after I wake up, in that quiet, warm moment before I fully start my day. Have you ever experienced that? Like your brain was working on a problem all night, and the answer just appeared in the morning?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's one of the most magical things about sleep. Your brain doesn't actually stop working when you sleep. It keeps processing, connecting ideas, and solving problems. There's even a name for that half-awake state in the morning, the hypnagogic state. Many famous creative people use this time deliberately. The inventor Thomas Edison, for example, would sit in a chair holding metal balls. When he fell asleep, the balls would drop and wake him up, so he could capture his half-dreaming ideas.
That Edison story is fascinating. I've also read that the scientist who discovered the structure of benzene, Friedrich Kekulé, said he dreamed of a snake eating its own tail, and that inspired him to realize benzene has a ring structure. So a dream literally led to a major scientific discovery. Dreams and creativity are deeply connected. Many artists, writers, and musicians have said that some of their best work came to them in dreams or right after waking up.
Paul McCartney famously said the melody for Yesterday came to him in a dream. He woke up, ran to the piano, and played it immediately because he was afraid he'd forget it. Can you imagine? One of the most famous songs ever written, born from sleep. And it's not just musicians. The writer Robert Louis Stevenson said the story for A Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde came from a dream. Sleep is not just rest. For creative people, it can be a source of pure inspiration.
I love these examples. They really change the way we think about sleep, don't they? It's not passive, it's deeply active and creative. Okay, let's shift to a topic our listeners might find very relatable: social media and sleep. I think this is a huge problem for young people especially. It's so easy to pick up your phone at midnight and scroll through videos for 2 hours without even noticing.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. I've done this so many times. You tell yourself just 5 more minutes, and then suddenly it's 2 in the morning. Social media apps are actually designed to keep you engaged. They use notifications, endless scrolling, and short videos that make it very hard to stop. This isn't an accident. These features are carefully engineered to hold your attention. And unfortunately, using them right before bed is one of the worst things you can do for sleep quality.
There's actually research showing that people who use social media heavily before bed take longer to fall asleep, sleep fewer hours, and feel more tired in the morning. Part of it is the blue light from screens, as we mentioned earlier, but another part is emotional. Social media often triggers feelings of comparison, anxiety, or excitement, which are the opposite of what you need to feel before sleep. Seeing someone's perfect vacation photos at midnight is not relaxing.
That's so true. Comparison is the thief of sleep, as well as joy. I think the best thing you can do is create a kind of digital sunset, a time in the evening when you stop using screens and social media. Some people put their phone in another room at night, which removes the temptation completely. Others use app timers to lock social media after a certain hour. The phone can feel like a lifeline, but it's actually often a sleep thief in disguise.
Digital sunset. I love that phrase. I actually tried putting my phone in the kitchen at night for 2 weeks, and honestly, it was a little uncomfortable at first. I felt slightly anxious, like I was missing something. But after a few days, I really enjoyed that peaceful, screen-free time before bed. I read more, I felt calmer, and I slept much better. The anxiety about missing something faded quickly. I think that initial discomfort is normal. We're so used to being connected all the time.
It's called FOMO, fear of missing out, and it's a real psychological experience. But what most people discover when they disconnect at night is that they didn't actually miss anything important. The notifications were still there in the morning. The world didn't end. But they slept better and felt more present the next day. I think we all need to remind ourselves that being unavailable for 8 hours while we sleep is completely okay and actually very healthy.
Perfectly said. Okay, new topic. Sleep and children. This is something many of our listeners might be thinking about, especially parents. Children need much more sleep than adults. A newborn baby sleeps about 16 to 17 hours a day. A school-age child needs 9 to 11 hours. But in reality, many children today are sleeping less than they should, partly because of screens, busy schedules, and late-night activities.
Children's sleep is so important because most of their physical and brain development happens during sleep. Growth hormone is mainly released during deep sleep in children. Memory, language, and social skills develop during sleep too. When children don't sleep enough, it affects their mood, attention, and learning at school. Interestingly, sleep-deprived children often don't act tired, they act hyperactive and restless, which is the opposite of what most people expect.
That's a really useful thing for parents to know. If a child seems hyperactive, unfocused, or emotional, poor sleep could be the reason. A good bedtime routine is incredibly important for children. Things like a warm bath, quiet reading, dim lights, and a consistent bedtime help the child's brain understand that sleep is coming. Screens before bed are especially harmful for children because their brains are more sensitive to light stimulation than adult brains.
And I think parents often forget that children learn from watching adults. If they see mom and dad scrolling on phones until midnight, they think that's normal. Modeling good sleep habits is just as important as enforcing them. A family that has consistent routines, dinner at the same time, wind down time together, phones away in the evening, tends to produce children who sleep better and feel more secure. It's a family culture thing, not just a rule you set for the child.
That's a beautiful point about family culture. Okay, I want to talk about something that I think many people are curious about: lucid dreaming. Have you ever had a lucid dream, Mark? A lucid dream is when you know you're dreaming while the dream is happening, and sometimes you can even control it.
Yes. I've had maybe 3 or 4 lucid dreams in my life, and they were absolutely incredible. In one of them, I realized I was dreaming and decided to fly, just like Superman. I jumped off a building and soared over a city. The feeling was so vivid and real. I remember thinking, I know this isn't real, but it feels amazing. When I woke up, I was genuinely happy for hours afterward. It was one of the most joyful experiences I've had, and it happened in my sleep.
Lucid dreaming sounds wonderful. Some people practice techniques to have lucid dreams more often. One popular method is called reality testing. You ask yourself several times a day, "Am I dreaming right now?" and do a small check, like looking at your hands or trying to push your finger through your palm. After doing this during the day, you might start doing it automatically in your dreams too. And when you do it in a dream, something strange happens and you realize you're dreaming.
That's a clever technique. There are also apps and devices now that claim to help trigger lucid dreams. For example, by detecting when you enter REM sleep and then playing a soft sound or light that enters your dream without waking you up. The science is still developing, but it's a fascinating area of research. Some therapists also use lucid dreaming as a tool to help people with recurring nightmares. If you can become aware in the nightmare and change the story, it can reduce the fear and trauma associated with it.
That's a really interesting therapeutic use. I didn't know that. Okay, let's talk about something that affects a huge number of people: snoring and sleep apnea. These are very common but often untreated sleep problems. Do you snore, Mark? Be honest.
My partner says I snore sometimes, especially when I'm very tired or after a long day. I think most people snore occasionally, and that's usually not a big problem. But snoring can sometimes be a sign of a more serious condition called sleep apnea. In sleep apnea, the airway becomes blocked during sleep, and the person actually stops breathing for short moments, sometimes hundreds of times per night. The brain then wakes the person up briefly to restart breathing. They often don't remember waking up, but their sleep quality is terrible.
Sleep apnea is more common than many people think. It affects an estimated 1 billion people worldwide, though many don't know they have it. The classic signs are loud snoring, waking up feeling unrefreshed despite sleeping enough hours, feeling very sleepy during the day, and sometimes a partner noticing that you stop breathing. It's more common in people who are overweight, but thin people can have it too. The good news is that it's very treatable. The most common treatment is a device called a CPAP machine that keeps the airway open during sleep.
If someone suspects they have sleep apnea, it's really important to see a doctor. Untreated sleep apnea is linked to high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and other serious health issues. It's not just about feeling tired, it can have major long-term consequences. I think many people just accept feeling exhausted as a normal part of life when actually they have a condition that could be treated. Sometimes just asking a doctor the simple question, "Could I have a sleep disorder?" can change your life completely.
Absolutely. And on that note, I want to say, if you often feel tired, if you wake up with headaches, if you can't focus during the day, please don't just accept it. Talk to a doctor. Sleep problems are medical issues, just like high blood pressure or a broken bone. There is nothing weak or dramatic about seeking help for sleep. It's one of the smartest things you can do for your overall health. Okay, Mark, let's talk about one more fun topic before we start closing: animals and sleep.
Ooh, I love this. Animals have some of the most fascinating sleep habits. Did you know that dolphins and whales sleep with only half their brain at a time? The other half stays awake so they can keep swimming and breathing. It's called unihemispheric sleep. Some birds do this too, flying long distances while half their brain sleeps. And on the other extreme, brown bats sleep about 20 hours a day. Can you imagine sleeping 20 hours? It sounds like a dream, literally.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up. What an amazing conversation we've had today. We talked about how much sleep we need, why sleep is so important for both body and mind, what dreams are and why we have them, and practical tips to sleep better. I hope you've learned something new and maybe even feel a little more excited about going to bed tonight. Remember, sleep is not a waste of time. It's an investment in your health, your happiness, and your performance in everything you do. So tonight, give yourself permission to rest.
Perfectly said, Anna. And remember our title, Never Give Up on Your Dreams, Keep Sleeping. We meant it both ways. Keep chasing your real dreams in life, and also keep sleeping, because that's where the magic happens. Thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, leave us a comment, or give us a rating. It really helps us grow. We'll be back soon with another friendly, useful conversation in clear English. Until then, sleep well, dream big, and take care of yourselves. Good night or good morning, wherever you are.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Anna, and I am very happy you are here today. This podcast is for people who are learning English. We talk about simple and important topics. Today, our topic is scamming. Maybe you heard this word before. Maybe you did not. Do not worry. We will explain everything step by step. My friend Mark is here with me today. He knows a lot about this topic. We will talk together and make it easy to understand. So please relax, listen carefully, and enjoy our conversation. Let us begin.
Hi, everybody. I am Mark, and I'm so glad to be here with Anna today. Scamming is a very important topic. It happens every day, all around the world. Many people lose money because of scams. Many people feel sad and embarrassed after a scam. But if you know about scams, you can protect yourself. You can protect your family, too. Anna and I will use simple words today. We want everyone to understand. If you hear a word you do not know, do not stop listening. We will explain it. Okay, let us start our conversation.
So, Mark, let us start with the basics. What is a scam? Can you explain it in simple words? I think some of our listeners do not know this word yet. A scam is something bad, right? It's when someone tries to take something from you, like money or personal information. Is that correct? I want to make sure our listeners understand from the very beginning. Scams can be very confusing. Sometimes people do not even know they are in a scam. That is why it is so important to talk about this. Please explain it for us, Mark.
Yes, Anna, you are right. A scam is when a person or a group of people tries to trick you. They want to take your money or your personal information. They do this by lying. They pretend to be someone they are not. For example, they might say, "I'm from the bank," but they are not from the bank. They are lying. The goal of a scammer is to get something from you without you knowing. Scams can happen on the phone, on the internet, or even in person. They happen everywhere. That is why we need to learn about them. Knowledge is the best protection.
That is a great explanation. So, scammers are people who lie to get money or information. Mark, I have a question. Are scams new? Did scams happen a long time ago too? Or is this something that started because of the internet? I am curious because today we hear about scams on our phones and computers, but maybe scams are not a new thing. Maybe people were scamming even hundreds of years ago. I think it is interesting to know the history a little. Can you tell us something about that? Even a simple explanation is fine.
Great question, Anna. Scams are not new at all. People have been scamming others for hundreds and hundreds of years. A very old scam is the shell game. In this trick, a person hides a ball under 3 cups. They move the cups very fast. You try to guess where the ball is, but the scammer cheats. You almost always lose money. Another old scam is selling fake medicines. People sold water and said it could cure any sickness. Of course, it did not work. So yes, scams are very old. Today, scammers just use new tools like phones and the internet, but the idea is the same. They lie to get your money.
Wow, that is very interesting. So scams have been around for a very long time. Okay, Mark, let us talk about today's scams. What are the most common scams right now? I think many of our listeners have seen or heard about some of them. Maybe they received a strange phone call, or maybe they got a weird email. I personally get strange messages sometimes on my phone. It is a little scary. I do not always know if something is real or fake. So what are the most common types of scams that people see today? Please share some examples.
Sure, Anna. There are many common scams today. The first one is the phishing scam. In this scam, someone sends you a fake email or message. It looks like it is from a real company, like a bank or a store. The message says, "Click this link and enter your password." But if you click it, they steal your information. Another common scam is the lottery scam. You get a message that says you want a prize, but to get the prize, you must pay a fee first. Of course, there is no prize. Another one is the tech support scam. Someone calls and says your computer has a problem. They ask to access your computer. Then they steal your information. These are very common today.
Oh, I have heard of phishing before. That word always sounds funny to me. phishing. It sounds like fishing, right? Like fishing in the water. But instead of catching fish, scammers are trying to catch people. Mark, do you think this is where the word comes from? Also, I want to ask, why do so many people fall for these scams? Sometimes I see a scam message and I think, that is so obviously fake. But I know that many people believe these messages. Why is it so easy to trick people? Can you explain?
Yes, Anna, you are right. Phishing does come from the word fishing. Scammers are fishing for victims, just like catching fish. It is a clever word. Now, why do people fall for scams? There are a few reasons. First, scammers are very good at lying. They practice a lot. They know what words to use. Second, they often create fear or excitement. For example, your account is in danger. Act now. When people feel scared, they do not think carefully. They just react. Third, some people are lonely or sad, and scammers pretend to be their friend. This makes it easy to trick them. Scammers understand human feelings very well. That is why it works.
That makes a lot of sense. Scammers use fear and emotion to trick people. That is very clever, but in a bad way. Mark, let us talk about a specific type of scam. I want to ask about romance scams. I have heard this term before. I think it is when someone pretends to love you online, but it is all fake. Is that right? I feel very sad when I hear about romance scams. People are looking for love and friendship, and then someone uses that against them. Can you explain how romance scams work? I think this is important for our listeners to know.
Yes, Anna. Romance scams are very sad and very common. Here's how they work. A person creates a fake profile on a dating app or social media. They use a beautiful photo, usually not their real photo. They start talking to you. They're very kind and sweet. They say they love you very quickly. Then, after some time, they ask for money. Maybe they say they are sick and need help. Or they say they are stuck in another country and need a ticket home. But none of it is true. Everything is a lie. They never had real feelings for you. When you send money, they disappear. Romance scams break people's hearts and take their money. It is very cruel.
That is so heartbreaking. People really think they found love, and then it's all fake. I feel sorry for anyone who experienced this. Mark, let us talk about something a little different now. What about scams that happen over the phone? I know many elderly people, like grandparents, get phone calls from scammers. My grandmother told me once that she got a strange call from someone who said he was from the government. She did not know what to do. What are common phone scams, and why do they target older people especially?
Phone scams are very common, Anna. One of the most famous is the grandparent scam. A scammer calls an elderly person and says, "Grandma, it's me. I'm in trouble. I need money right now. Please do not tell mom or dad." The grandparent thinks it's their grandchild and sends money immediately. Another phone scam is the IRS scam. Someone calls and says, "You owe money to the government. Pay now or the police will come." Of course, this is a lie. The government does not call you like this. Older people are often targeted because they are more trusting and sometimes less familiar with these tricks. That is why we must teach everyone about scams.
Oh, the grandparent scam is terrible. Imagine getting that call and thinking your grandchild is in danger. Of course you want to help. Scammers are really cruel. Mark, I want to ask, what about online shopping scams? I love shopping online, and I know many people do too. But I have heard that some online stores are fake. You pay money, and the product never arrives. Or you receive something completely different from what you ordered. Has this happened to you? And what should people know about shopping safely online? This is very useful for everyday life.
Oh yes, online shopping scams are very real. Fake online stores are everywhere. They look just like real stores. They have nice photos and low prices. That's the trick. The prices are too low. You think you're getting a great deal. You pay and then nothing arrives. Or you get a very cheap, broken product. I have a friend who bought expensive shoes online for a very low price. He waited 2 months and then he received tiny plastic shoes, like toys. He was very angry. So the rule is, if the price looks too good to be true, it probably is a scam. Always buy from stores you know and trust.
Ha, tiny plastic shoes. That is funny, but also very frustrating for your friend. Okay, so we need to be careful about prices that are too low. Mark, let us talk about email scams now. I get so many strange emails. Sometimes they say I won something. Sometimes they say my account is locked. Sometimes they say a prince from another country wants to send me money. That last one always makes me laugh. Have you heard of the Nigerian prince scam? It is very old, but people still fall for it. Can you explain how it works and why people still believe it?
Yes, the Nigerian prince scam is one of the most famous scams in the world. Here's how it works. You get an email from someone who says they are a rich prince or a businessman in another country. They say they have millions of dollars, but they need your help to move the money. If you help them, they will give you a big reward, maybe 10 or 20% of the money. But first, you need to pay a small fee to start the process. Of course, there is no prince and no money. Once you pay, they ask for more money, then more. They keep asking until you stop. It sounds silly, but millions of people have lost money to this scam. It is a very powerful trick.
Wow, millions of people. That is shocking. And it sounds so unbelievable, a prince sending emails asking for help. But I understand now. When people see a huge amount of money, they stop thinking clearly. Greed can be dangerous. Mark, let us talk about social media scams now. I use social media every day. I see advertisements all the time. Sometimes I wonder if they are real. What are common scams on social media? I think young people especially need to know about this because young people spend so much time on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. What should they watch out for?
Great point, Anna. Social media scams are everywhere. One common scam is the fake giveaway. A fake account pretends to be a famous person or a big company. They say, "We are giving away $1,000. Follow us and share this post to win." But it's all fake. They just want more followers. Another scam is fake influencer products. An account promotes a product with amazing results, like a cream that makes you look 10 years younger in one day. You buy it, and it does nothing. A third scam is investment scams. Someone says, "Give me $100 and I will make it 1,000 in 1 week." Of course, that money disappears. Always be careful with things that sound too good.
Those fake giveaways are everywhere. I see them all the time. And I admit, sometimes they look very real. Mark, I want to ask about something called identity theft. I hear this phrase a lot, but I'm not 100% sure what it means. Does it mean someone steals your personal information and pretends to be you? That sounds very scary. Can you explain what identity theft is, how scammers do it, and what can happen if someone steals your identity? I think this is a very important topic, and our listeners need to know about it.
Yes, Anna, identity theft is very serious. It means someone takes your personal information like your name, your address, your date of birth, or your bank details, and uses it to pretend to be you. For example, they might open a bank account in your name or buy things with your credit card. How do they get your information? Sometimes through phishing emails, sometimes through fake websites. Sometimes they even go through your trash to find old documents with your information. The effects can be very bad. You might lose money. Your credit score might go down. It can take months or years to fix the problem. That is why protecting your personal information is so important.
Going through your trash. I never thought about that. That means we even need to be careful with old papers and documents. Mark, let us talk about something positive now. How can people protect themselves from scams? I think our listeners want to know what they can do. It is good to know about the dangers, but it's also important to know the solutions. What are the most important rules for staying safe? If you had to give just 3 or 4 simple tips, what would they be? Please keep it simple so everyone can remember.
Great idea, Anna. Here are my top tips. Number 1, never give your personal information to someone you do not know. This includes your passwords, bank details, or ID numbers. Number 2, if something sounds too good to be true, like a big prize or a huge investment, it's probably a scam. Number 3, don't click on links in emails or messages from people you don't know. Go directly to the official website instead. And number 4, take your time. Scammers always try to create urgency. They say act now or only today. A real company will give you time to think. If you feel pressured, that's a warning sign. Stop and think before you do anything.
Those are wonderful tips, simple and easy to remember. I especially like the last one. Take your time. Scammers want you to act fast so you do not think, so slowing down is a great defense. Mark, I want to talk about what to do if you think you are being scammed right now, in the middle of it. What if someone is on the phone with a scammer and they suddenly realize something is wrong? What should they do? Should they say something? Should they just hang up? I think many people do not know how to react in that moment. It can be scary and confusing.
That is a very important question. If you think you are talking to a scammer, the best thing to do is stop the conversation immediately. Just hang up the phone. You do not need to explain or say goodbye. If it's an email or message, do not reply. Do not click any links. Do not give any information. If you already gave some information, like your phone number or email, change your passwords right away. If you gave financial information, like a credit card number, call your bank immediately and tell them what happened. Also, report the scam to the police or a consumer protection agency in your country. Reporting helps protect other people too. Remember, you do not need to feel embarrassed. Scammers are professionals. It can happen to anyone.
That is very reassuring. It can happen to anyone. And you are right, people should not feel embarrassed. Scammers are very clever. Mark, let us talk about what happens after a scam. If someone has already been scammed, they already lost money, what can they do? Can they get their money back? I know some people feel hopeless after a scam. They feel ashamed and do not tell anyone. But I think it's important to speak up. What advice do you have for someone who is already a victim of a scam?
This is so important, Anna. First, I want to say if you were scammed, it is not your fault. Scammers are very good at what they do. They trick smart people every day, so please do not feel ashamed. Now, what can you do? First, report it. Tell the police, tell your bank, tell a consumer protection organization. Some countries have special departments for cybercrime. Second, if you paid by credit card, contact your bank quickly. Sometimes they can stop the payment or return the money. If you paid by wire transfer or gift card, unfortunately, it is very hard to get the money back. Third, warn others. Tell your friends and family so they don't fall into the same trap. Your experience can help others.
That is such good advice. Reporting is so important, not just to help yourself, but to help others too. Mark, I want to ask about gift cards. I heard that scammers love gift cards. Why do scammers ask for gift cards instead of bank transfers? I found this very strange when I first heard about it. A gift card is just for buying things in a store, right? Like an iTunes card or a Google Play card. Why would a scammer want that? And what should people do if someone asks them to pay with a gift card? Is this always a scam?
Excellent question, Anna. Scammers love gift cards for one big reason. They are almost impossible to trace. When you send money by bank transfer, the bank can sometimes find it or stop it. But with a gift card, you just give the numbers on the back of the card. The scammer uses those numbers immediately to get money. It's very fast and very anonymous. That is why scammers say, go to the store, buy a $200 Google Play card, and give me the numbers. Here's the most important rule. No legitimate company, government office, bank, or real person will ever ask you to pay with a gift card. Ever. If someone asks you to pay with a gift card, that is 100% a scam. Always.
100% a scam. I love that. That is a rule that is very easy to remember. Mark, let us talk about children and young people now. Are young people at risk from scams? I sometimes think that young people are safer because they grew up with technology, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe young people are also tricked by scammers. What kinds of scams target young people specifically? Are there scams in online games, for example? I know many young people play video games online. Are there scammers in gaming too?
You are right to ask, Anna. Young people are not always safe. In fact, scammers target young people a lot. In online games, scammers might say,
Give me your account password and I will give you free coins or weapons. Then they take your account and never give it back. Another scam for young people is fake job offers. They send a message on social media saying, work from home and earn $500 a week easily. The young person is excited, but then they ask for money first to buy training materials or supplies. Of course, there is no job. Scammers also use social media to create fake profiles and ask young people for personal photos or information. Young people must be careful too.
That is so important to know. Even young people who are very comfortable with technology can be tricked. Mark, I also want to ask about investment scams in more detail. I hear a lot about cryptocurrency scams these days. Many people are interested in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and scammers use this interest to steal money. How does a cryptocurrency scam work? Is it hard to recognize? I know this might be a little more complicated, but please explain it simply so our A1 and A2 listeners can understand the basic idea.
Sure, Anna. Cryptocurrency scams are very common right now. Here's a simple example. Someone contacts you, maybe on social media, and says, I know a secret way to make a lot of money with Bitcoin. I already made $10,000. Let me show you how. They seem very friendly. They show you fake screenshots of their profits. They ask you to invest a small amount first, maybe $100. You see your account growing, you invest more, then one day the website disappears, the person disappears, your money is gone. This is called a pig butchering scam. They slowly fatten you up by making you trust them more and more, then they take everything. Always be very careful with investment advice from strangers.
Pig butchering, what a strange and scary name. But it makes sense. They make you feel safe and then take everything. Mark, let us change the topic a little. I want to talk about scams that happen in real life, not just online or on the phone. Are there scams that happen in person, face-to-face, like on the street, for example? I know some cities have people who try to trick tourists. What kinds of in-person scams should people watch out for, especially if they are traveling to a new city or a new country?
Yes. In-person scams are very real, especially in tourist areas. One classic scam is the gold ring scam. Someone walks up to you on the street and says, "Excuse me, I found this gold ring. I don't need it. You can have it." Then they ask for a small amount of money for a good luck fee. The ring, of course, is not gold. Another scam is the friendship bracelet scam. Someone puts a bracelet on your wrist and then demands money for it. Another common one is fake monks. People dressed like Buddhist monks give you a small gift and then ask for a donation. They are not real monks. In markets, some sellers use tricks with scales to make you think you are getting more than you are. Always be aware of your surroundings.
Oh, I actually saw the friendship bracelet scam when I was traveling in Europe. Someone tried to put a bracelet on my wrist, and I quickly said no and walked away. Now I understand exactly what was happening. Mark, let us change the topic a little. I want to talk about one more type of scam, job scams. I know many people are looking for jobs, especially young people, and scammers know this. They create fake job advertisements. What does a fake job advertisement look like, and how can someone tell if a job offer is real or fake? This is very practical information that can really help people.
Job scams are a huge problem, Anna. A fake job advertisement usually has these signs. First, the salary is unrealistically high, like earn $2,000 a week working only 2 hours a day from home. Second, they don't require any experience or skills. Real good jobs almost always need some qualifications. Third, they ask you to pay money before you start for training, uniforms, or background checks. Legitimate employers never ask workers to pay before starting. Fourth, the communication is strange, bad grammar in the emails, or they only communicate by WhatsApp or Telegram, not by official company email. Fifth, you can't find information about the company online. If you see these signs, be very careful. Research the company before you apply.
Those are such helpful signs to watch out for. I love how you gave us a clear list. Mark, I think it is also important to talk about how to report a scam. We mentioned this briefly before, but let's go a little deeper. If someone in another country is trying to scam people in your country, who do you even call? Is there a special number? And does reporting actually make a difference? Sometimes people feel like reporting is useless, like nothing will happen. What do you think? Does reporting scams actually help?
Reporting absolutely helps, Anna. Maybe your report alone won't stop a scammer immediately, but when many people report the same scammer, the police and agencies can take action. In most countries, you can report scams to the National Police, the Consumer Protection Agency, or a special cybercrime department. In the United States, for example, you can report to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. In the UK, there's Action Fraud. In many countries, you can also report scam phone numbers directly to your phone company. Your report adds important data. It helps investigators find patterns and stop criminals. So yes, please report every scam. Even if you didn't lose any money, your information matters.
That is great motivation to report. Every report matters. Mark, before we start wrapping up, I want to ask one more important question. What about people who feel too embarrassed to tell anyone they were scammed? I know this is a real problem. Victims often feel ashamed or stupid. They do not want to tell their family or friends. They keep it secret. But keeping it secret can be dangerous, right? How can we help people feel comfortable talking about scams? And how should friends and family react when someone tells them they were scammed? What is the right way to support them?
This is so important, Anna. Shame is one of the biggest problems after a scam. People feel stupid and do not ask for help. But the truth is, if you were scammed, you are not stupid. Scammers spend years learning how to trick people. It is their full-time job. They are professionals. If a family member or friend tells you they were scammed, please do not laugh or say, "How could you believe that?" That is the worst thing you can do. Instead, listen to them. Tell them it is not their fault. Help them take the next steps, like calling the bank or reporting to the police. Be patient and kind. The emotional pain after a scam can be very real. Support and understanding can make a huge difference.
Beautifully said, Mark. Kindness and support are so important. I think we covered so many great topics today. We talked about what scams are, the history of scams, different types of scams, phone scams, email scams, romance scams, job scams, crypto scams, in-person scams, and more. We talked about how to protect ourselves and what to do if we are scammed. I feel like our listeners have learned so much today. Mark, is there anything else you want to add before we close? Any final thoughts or one last important message for our listeners?
Yes, Anna. My final message is this. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay safe. If something feels wrong, trust your feeling. If you're not sure, ask someone you trust before you do anything. Talk to your friends and family about scams. Share the information you learned today. The more people know, the harder it is for scammers to succeed. And remember, scammers want you to feel alone and scared, but you are not alone. There are people who can help you. There are laws to protect you. You have the power to protect yourself and others. Knowledge is your best weapon against scams.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. I hope you learned something useful and important today. Please share this episode with your friends and family, especially with people who are not so familiar with technology or online scams. They might really need this information. Remember the key lessons. Do not give your personal information to strangers. Think before you click. Take your time and do not let anyone rush you. And if something feels wrong, it probably is. If you have questions or comments, we would love to hear from you. See you next time. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you so much, Anna, and thank you to all our wonderful listeners. It was a great conversation today. I learned something too, just from talking about all these scam types together. Every day, scammers get smarter, but every day, we can get smarter too. Keep learning, keep sharing, and keep protecting each other. If you enjoyed this episode, please tell a friend about our podcast. That is the best way to help us grow. And as always, if you ever think someone is trying to scam you, stop, breathe, and think. You have the power to say no. Thank you, goodbye, and take good care of yourselves and the people around you.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Anna. Today, we are going to talk about time management. This is a very important topic. Many people feel they do not have enough time. They feel busy every day. But maybe the problem is not the time. Maybe the problem is how we use the time. I think it is possible to learn good habits. We can all get better at this. I am happy to talk about it today with my friend Mark. Mark, hello. How are you?
Hello, Anna. I am very happy to be here. Thank you for that introduction. Yes, time management is a great topic. I think about it a lot. Every morning I wake up and I think, what do I need to do today? Sometimes I have a long list, and sometimes I do not do everything on the list. I feel bad about that, but I am learning. I think small changes can help a lot. I want to share some simple ideas today. I hope our listeners find them useful. Let us begin.
Great. So, Mark, let us start with a basic question. What is time management? Can you explain it in simple words? I think some people hear this phrase and they feel confused. It sounds very professional, but I think it is not so difficult to understand. Time management means we plan how to use our time. We decide what to do first and what to do later. We try to use our time well. Does that sound right to you, Mark? I think it is a simple idea, but it is not always easy to do in real life.
Yes, Anna, I agree completely. Time management is simple to understand, but not always simple to do. It means you are the boss of your time. You decide what is important. You decide what to do now and what to do tomorrow. For example, if I have a big project at work, I plan my time for it. I do not wait until the last minute. I start early. This helps me feel less stressed. I think the key word is plan. If you have a plan, you feel more in control of your day, and that feels really good.
I love that, being the boss of your time. That is a great way to say it. So, Mark, why do you think time management is important? I think many people know they should manage their time better, but they do not start. They say, I will do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and they say the same thing again. It's a cycle. I think we need a reason to change. For me, the reason is stress. When I do not manage my time, I feel very stressed, and stress is not good for health. What about you, Mark? Why is it important to you?
That's a really good point, Anna. Stress is a big reason for me too. When I do not plan my time, everything feels urgent. I feel like I am always running. I never have time to rest. And then I feel tired and unhappy. But when I manage my time well, I finish my work and I still have free time. Free time is so important. I can read a book, go for a walk, or spend time with my family. Good time management gives you more life outside of work. It's not just about being productive, it's about being happy too.
Yes, I totally agree. Happy and productive. Let's talk about some common problems now. I think one big problem is that people do not know where their time goes. Have you ever had a busy day and then thought, what did I actually do today? I have that feeling sometimes. I'm busy all day, but I feel like I didn't finish anything important. I think the first step is to look at how we spend our time. We need to see our habits. Sometimes we are surprised. We spend a lot of time on things that are not important. Do you agree, Mark?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I did an exercise once. I wrote down everything I did for one whole day. Every hour, I wrote a short note. And at the end of the day, I looked at the list. I was surprised. I spent a lot of time checking my phone, maybe 2 or 3 hours total. That's a long time. And I didn't even feel like I was wasting time. It just happened little by little. So I think awareness is the first step. You need to know your habits before you can change them. Try this exercise. It's very eye-opening and helpful.
That is a fantastic exercise, Mark, writing down your activities. I think many people will be surprised when they try it. Okay, so now we know the problem. We do not always use our time well. What can we do about it? Let's talk about some simple strategies. One thing I do is make a to-do list every morning. I write down 3 things I want to do that day. Only 3, not 20 things, just 3 important things. This helps me focus. I don't feel overwhelmed. And when I finish all 3, I feel great. It's a small habit, but it makes a big difference.
3 things. I like that idea, Anna. It's simple and realistic. I also make lists, but sometimes my list is too long. Then I feel stressed looking at it. So 3 things is a good limit. I also try to do the most important thing first in the morning. I call this eating the frog. It sounds strange, I know, but it means you do the hardest or most important task first, before email, before social media, before everything. Then the rest of the day feels easier. You already did the big thing. The other tasks seem smaller after that. Have you tried this, Anna?
Eating the frog. I love that expression. Yes, I have heard it before, and I think it is true. When I do a hard task first, I feel so relieved. The whole day is better after that. But sometimes it is hard to start with the hard thing. Our brain does not like hard things. We want to do easy things first. It's natural. So we need to be a little strict with ourselves. Maybe we say, no email until I finish my first task, or no coffee until I start the big project. We use small rewards to help us. Does that work for you, Mark?
Yes, rewards really help. I use them all the time. For example, I tell myself, after I write this report, I can have a cup of coffee and a short break. The coffee becomes my reward. It sounds small, but it really works for me. Our brain likes rewards. It makes work feel more like a game. You finish a task, you get a reward. It's a simple system. I think the key is to make the reward something you really enjoy. And the reward should come right after the task, not much later, immediately after. That way your brain connects the reward with finishing the task.
Rewards and tasks. I love this idea. Now let us talk about something else. Distractions. I think this is one of the biggest problems today. We have so many distractions. Our phones, social media, messages, emails, they never stop. Every few minutes, something wants our attention, and each distraction breaks our focus. Then it takes time to focus again after a distraction. Studies say it can take more than 20 minutes to fully focus again after a distraction. That is a lot of lost time in one day. Mark, how do you deal with distractions? Do you have any tips?
Distractions are really difficult. I think the phone is the biggest one for most people, including me. My solution is simple. I put my phone in another room when I need to work. If I can't see it, I don't think about it as much. I also turn off notifications. I don't need to know every time someone likes my photo or sends a message. I check my phone at specific times, for example, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. This way I stay informed, but I'm not checking it all the time. It was hard at first, but now I feel much better and more focused during work time.
Okay, let us now talk about planning. I think planning is the heart of time management. If you have a good plan, you know what to do and when. You don't waste time deciding. You just follow the plan. I plan my week every Sunday evening. I sit down with a cup of tea and I look at the next week. I write important things in my calendar, appointments, meetings, deadlines. Then I also think about personal goals. Maybe I want to exercise 3 times this week or finish a book. I put these in the calendar too. Then Monday morning, I already know my week. It feels good.
Weekly planning is a great habit, Anna. I do something similar. On Sunday or Monday morning, I look at my week. I ask myself, what are the 3 most important things I need to do this week? Not for work only, but for life also. Maybe one thing is work, one thing is health, and one thing is family. I try to balance different areas of life, because time management is not only about work, it's about your whole life. If you only manage work time, you might forget your health or your relationships. A good plan includes everything that's important to you as a person.
Balance is so important. You're right, Mark. We should not only think about work. We need time for everything: work, family, health, hobbies, rest. I think rest is often forgotten. Many people feel guilty when they rest. They think, I should be doing something. But rest is not lazy. Rest is necessary. When you rest, your brain recovers. You become more creative. You make better decisions. You are more patient with people. Without rest, everything gets harder. So I tell people, plan your rest time too. Put it in your calendar. Protect it like you protect a work meeting. Rest is a meeting with yourself.
A meeting with yourself. I love that, Anna. That is a beautiful way to think about it. I used to feel guilty about taking breaks. I thought working all the time meant I was productive, but actually working without breaks makes you less productive over time. You make more mistakes, you feel tired, your ideas stop coming. Now I take short breaks every hour or so. I stand up, walk a little, drink some water, just 5 or 10 minutes, and then I come back to work feeling more fresh. These small breaks actually help me do more work, not less. So breaks are an investment in productivity.
An investment in productivity, yes. Short breaks are so helpful. Now I want to talk about a technique that many people use. It's called the Pomodoro technique. Have you heard of it, Mark? It's a very popular method for managing time and staying focused. The idea is simple. You work for 25 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break. Then you work for 25 minutes again. After 4 rounds, you take a longer break, maybe 15 or 30 minutes. You use a timer. The word Pomodoro means tomato in Italian. The person who invented it used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. Isn't that fun?
Yes, I know the Pomodoro technique. It is a great method. I've used it many times. The timer really helps. When you have 25 minutes, you focus because the time is limited. You think, I only have 25 minutes, so I must concentrate now. And the break is also nice because you know it is coming. You do not feel like you are working forever. You think, just 25 minutes, then I can rest. It makes hard work easier to start. Many people find it hard to begin a task, but starting a 25-minute session is not scary. It's a small and manageable amount of time.
Exactly. Starting is often the hardest part. Once you start, it is easier to continue. The Pomodoro helps you start. Okay, let us talk about something that I find very interesting, the idea of time blocks. This is when you plan your day in blocks of time. For example, from 9 to 11 is for deep work. 11 to 12 is for email and messages. After lunch, maybe meetings. Then in the afternoon, creative work. Each part of the day has a purpose. You do not mix everything together. This way, your brain knows what kind of thinking to do. It is more efficient. Does this sound useful, Mark? Do you use time blocks?
Yes, time blocking is one of my favorite methods. I really recommend it. In the morning, my brain is fresh and I use that time for thinking and creating. I never schedule meetings in the morning if I can help it. Meetings take energy and time. I prefer mornings for my own work. Then in the afternoon, I do easier tasks like emails and calls. I match the task to my energy level. When I have high energy, I do hard things. When I have low energy, I do easy things. I think this is called working with your natural rhythm, and it makes a big difference in how much you can get done each day.
Working with your natural rhythm. That is a great concept. Not everyone is the same. Some people work best in the morning. Other people work better at night. We are all different. I think it is important to know yourself. When do you feel most alert? When do you feel most creative? Plan your hard tasks for those times. Do easy tasks when you feel tired. This is a very personal approach to time management. There is no one perfect system for everyone. The best system is the one that works for you, so you need to experiment a little. Try different things and see what helps you personally.
I completely agree. Knowing yourself is really important. I'm a morning person. I wake up early and feel great. By 8 o'clock in the evening, I'm tired and I cannot focus well. So I never try to do important work late at night. I know it will not be my best work. But my sister is totally different. She works best at midnight. She is very creative at night. We are all different. So I always say, do not copy someone else's schedule exactly. Take ideas, but adapt them to your own life and body. What works for your friend might not work for you at all. And that's okay.
Your sister sounds like me sometimes. I like working in the evening too. Okay, let us talk about something very common, the feeling of being overwhelmed. I think many people have this feeling. You look at your to-do list and it is very long. You have so many things to do, and you don't know where to start, so you feel stuck. You might even start to do nothing because everything feels too big. This is called being overwhelmed. Have you felt this way, Mark? I think most people have at some point. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, and it can stop you from doing anything at all.
Oh, I know that feeling very well, Anna. It's terrible. You feel paralyzed. You can't move. I think the best thing to do when you feel overwhelmed is to stop and breathe first. Do not panic. Then take your big list and choose just one task. Just one. The most important or the most urgent one. Forget the rest for now. Focus only on that one task. Start it. When you finish it, choose another one. Take it step by step. The list will slowly get smaller, and each time you finish a task, you feel a little better. The feeling of progress is very powerful and motivating.
One task at a time. Simple and powerful. I also want to talk about saying no. I think this is very important for time management. Many people say yes to everything. Someone asks for help, they say yes. Another meeting is added, they say yes. A new project arrives, they say yes. And soon, their calendar is completely full. There is no time for their own priorities. Learning to say no is a skill. It is not rude to say no, it is responsible. When you say no to one thing, you say yes to your own time and priorities. Mark, do you find it easy or difficult to say no?
Honestly, saying no is very difficult for me. I'm a people pleaser. I like to help. I don't want to disappoint anyone. So I often say yes when I should say no. And then I'm stressed because I have too much to do. I'm slowly getting better at this. One thing that helps me is to pause before answering. When someone asks me something, I don't say yes immediately. I say, let me think about it and check my schedule. This gives me time to decide honestly. Sometimes I can help, sometimes I cannot, and that's okay. We can't do everything for everyone all the time. It's not possible.
Pausing before answering is a wonderful strategy. I do that too now. It's okay to say, I will check and let you know. You don't have to answer immediately. Okay, let us talk about technology and time management. We already talked about phones and distractions, but technology can also help us manage time better. There are many apps and tools for this. Have you used any apps for time management, Mark? I know there are apps for to-do lists, calendar apps, timer apps, and many others. Sometimes I think there are too many options, and it can also be confusing. Do you use any specific apps that you like?
Yes, I use a few apps. For my to-do list, I use a very simple app. I just write my tasks and check them off when I finish. The satisfying feeling of checking something off is real and motivating. I also use a calendar app for all my appointments and plans. I sync it with my phone and computer. For the Pomodoro technique, I use a simple timer app, nothing fancy. I think the key is not to use too many apps. Find one or two that work for you and stick with them. Changing apps all the time is also a way to waste time. The tool is not the solution. Your habits are the real solution.
That is so true. The habit is more important than the tool. You can have the best app in the world, but if your habits are bad, the app will not save you. Okay, I want to ask you something personal, Mark. What was your biggest time management mistake? Something you did before that you do not do now? I will share mine too. I think it is helpful to learn from mistakes. We all make them. My biggest mistake was trying to do many things at the same time, what people call multitasking. I thought I was saving time, but actually I was doing everything poorly and slowly. What about you?
Multitasking. Yes, that was my mistake too. I thought doing two things at once was efficient, but our brains cannot really multitask. We just switch quickly between tasks, and each switch costs time and mental energy. So we think we're saving time, but we're losing it. My other big mistake was not having a morning routine. I used to wake up and immediately check my phone, emails, news, social media, and then I felt stressed before I even had breakfast. Now I have a calm morning routine first. A little exercise, breakfast, some quiet time. Then I check my phone. My mornings are much better now.
Wake up earlier, yes. Even 10 or 15 minutes can help a lot. Now I want to talk about something called deadlines. I think deadlines are very important in time management. A deadline is a date or time when something must be finished. Without a deadline, tasks can go on forever. We keep working on something without finishing it, or we keep postponing it. But with a clear deadline, we work with more focus. We know by Friday this must be done, so we manage our time better during the week. Mark, how do you use deadlines? And what do you do if a deadline feels scary or too close?
Deadlines are very useful. They create a little pressure, and sometimes that pressure is good. It helps us focus. I always set deadlines for my tasks, even if no one gives me one. For example, if I need to write a report and my boss says, do it when you can, I still set a deadline for myself. Maybe I say, I will finish this by Wednesday. Without that, I might wait and wait. If a deadline feels scary, I break the big task into small steps. Each step has its own small deadline. Then the big deadline is not so scary. It's just a collection of small steps, and small steps are easy to take.
Breaking a big task into small steps, I love this strategy. It's called chunking, I think. You take a large task and divide it into many small parts. Each small part is easy to do, so you never feel overwhelmed. You just do one small part, then another, and before you know it, the big task is done. I use this method for big projects at work. I look at the whole project and I think, what are all the steps to finish this? Then I put each step on my calendar with a deadline. The big project becomes a simple plan. It's a really effective way to deal with large tasks.
Yes, chunking is a fantastic strategy, and it also helps with procrastination. Procrastination means you delay doing things. You keep saying, I will do it later, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. Often we procrastinate because the task seems too big or too hard. But if you break it into very small parts, it's not so hard. You can start with just 5 minutes on the task. Often you will continue after 5 minutes because you already started. Starting is the hardest part. Once you're working, the momentum carries you forward. So make the first step very, very small and easy to take.
Procrastination, such a common problem. I think almost everyone does it sometimes. I certainly do. One thing that helps me is to think about how I will feel after I finish the task. I imagine that feeling of relief and pride, and then I want that feeling. So I start working to get that feeling. It's a way to motivate yourself with your imagination. Another thing that helps me is to make my workspace nice. If my desk is clean and comfortable, I feel more motivated to sit down and work. A messy desk makes me feel tired and unmotivated. So I tidy my desk before I start working. It makes a real difference.
A clean workspace is so important, I agree. When everything around you is messy, your mind feels messy too. And when your workspace is clean and organized, your mind is clearer. This is not just a feeling. Some research shows that a clean environment helps with focus. I also like to have good lighting. Natural light is the best. I sit near a window when I can. And I like to have a glass of water on my desk. Small things make a difference. Creating a good environment for work is part of time management. You're setting yourself up for success before you even start the first task.
Setting yourself up for success. I really like that phrase. Okay, we're getting close to the end of our conversation today. I want to talk about one more thing, the balance between being productive and enjoying life. I think some people take time management too seriously. They plan every minute. They feel guilty if they are not doing something useful. But life is not only about being productive. We need to laugh. We need to enjoy small moments. We need to be present with people we love. Good time management should give you more time for joy, not make your life feel like a strict schedule. What do you think, Mark?
I completely agree, Anna. Time management is a tool, not a prison. The goal is more freedom, not more stress. If your time management system makes you feel anxious, something is wrong. Adjust it. Make it work for your life, not against it. I also think rest and play are productive in their own way. When you rest, you come back stronger. When you play, you get new ideas. When you spend time with loved ones, you feel happier and healthier. And happy, healthy people are more productive. So enjoying life is not a waste of time. It is actually one of the most important things you can do.
Beautifully said, Mark. Time management is about living better, not just working more. Now, I would love to know, what is the one piece of advice you would give to a total beginner, someone who wants to start managing their time better but does not know where to begin? There's so much information available, it can be confusing. If someone listens to this podcast and wants to change just one thing, what would you tell them? What is the most important first step? I have my answer ready, but I want to hear yours first. What is the single best advice you can give?
My number one advice is this: start simple. Do not try to change everything at once. Just do one thing. My suggestion is to write 3 important tasks every morning before you start your day. Just 3, not 20, not 10, 3. Do those 3 things first before you get distracted. At the end of the day, look at your list. Did you do all 3? If yes, wonderful. If not, that's okay. Try again tomorrow. Do this every day for 1 month. It will become a habit. And from this one small habit, other good habits will grow naturally. Simple is always better when you are starting something new.
I love your advice, Mark. 3 tasks per morning, simple and powerful. My advice is very similar. I would tell a beginner to just start. Do not wait for the perfect system or the perfect moment. Start now with something very small. Maybe just write a to-do list today. Maybe just turn off notifications for 1 hour. Pick one small thing and try it today. Progress, not perfection. Even a tiny change is better than no change. And celebrate your small wins. If you finish your 3 tasks today, feel proud. Tell yourself, I did well today. Positive feelings help you continue. Be kind to yourself on this journey.
Yes, be kind to yourself. That is so important. We sometimes talk to ourselves very harshly. We say, I am lazy, I have no discipline, I never finish anything. These thoughts are not helpful. They make us feel bad and unmotivated. Instead, try to be your own coach, not your own critic. Say, okay, today was not perfect, but I did something. Tomorrow, I will try again. Progress is not always a straight line. Some days are better than others. That is normal and human. The key is to keep going, to try again. Each small step forward counts, and over time, small steps add up to big changes in your life.
Be your own coach, not your own critic. What a beautiful message. I think that's a perfect way to end our conversation today. We talked about so many things: what time management is, why it is important, common problems like distractions and procrastination, useful strategies like to-do lists, time blocks, morning routines, and the Pomodoro technique. We talked about saying no, deadlines, and the importance of rest and balance. I hope our listeners found all of this helpful. Remember, you do not need to do everything at once. Just start with one small step. Mark, any final words before we say goodbye today?
Just a few final words. Thank you, Anna, for this wonderful conversation. It was so enjoyable, and I learned things too, even from talking about what I already know. I want to say to everyone listening, your time is valuable. It is the most precious thing you have. You cannot get it back, so use it with care and intention. Plan your days. Focus on what matters to you. Rest and enjoy life. Manage your time so that you can live a life you are happy with. Start small, be consistent, and be patient. You can do this. Thank you for listening to our podcast today. We hope to see you again very soon.
Thank you so much, Mark, and thank you to everyone who listened today. We hope this conversation gave you some good ideas and maybe some inspiration to start making changes. Time management is a journey. It's not something you perfect in one day. It takes practice and patience, but every step you take is worth it. Your future self will thank you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with a friend. Maybe someone you know needs these ideas too. Take care of your time and take care of yourselves. Goodbye for now, and see you in the next episode of our podcast. Bye-bye.